Welcome into high school football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder with you on this Football Friday night, the first Football Friday night of the high school football season in 2026. Immediately tonight, we'll warn you right off the bat that we have got a lot of games that have been delayed. There's a lot of games with heat timeouts. There's been a lot of penalties and things like that. So games are running very late tonight. Some games still a long way to go in the fourth quarter. As those final scores come in, we'll have all the final scores coming up for you on After the Game. Right now, though, we're going to introduce to you something that we're very excited about. That's our new set here as we go to our Whataburger scoreboard tonight on this Football Friday night. Here it is, folks. This is our new set, and we're going to begin on After the Game with the scores. We have highlights of this game coming on the Whataburger scoreboard. This is a shocker to a lot of folks tonight, but really not a surprise. Jacksonville, very good football team. They are going to be dealt with by a lot of folks this year. They go into the Field of Champions at Piedmont. They were up 20-0 at halftime. They stand up and win 34-8 over number one Piedmont tonight. An impressive performance by the Jacksonville Golden Eagles tonight as they win over the Piedmont Bulldogs. We'll have highlights of that game tonight from the Field of Champions at Piedmont. Pleasant Valley tonight. This was a close game, but then Pleasant Valley, number 5 team in Class 2A, they pull away from White Plains. They beat the Wildcats tonight out at Raider Field in Pleasant Valley. Two teams, look at that, they hadn't met since 2021. Here's the deal with this series. Every year in the history of Pleasant Valley High School, Pleasant Valley had played White Plains up until the 2021 season. They take a 4-year break, but they were back tonight. Pleasant Valley wins it. The new turf out at Pleasant Valley at Raider Field as Pleasant Valley beats White Plains 26-7. Highlights of that game coming on After the Game. Hope Christian last night, a Thursday night game, playing at home at Big Jack Stovall Field in Oxford. They beat the Donahoe Falcons. A historic game, the first ever game in the Alabama High School Athletic Association for Hope Christian, and what is going to be the first of many meetings with the Donahoe Falcons in a lot of sports. This will be a big rivalry. Last night, Hope was up 32-0 at halftime. They win it 48-7 over the Donahoe Falcons last night. We will have highlights of that game. Head coach of the Hope Christian Saints, Chris Stone, going to join us in just a few moments live right here on After the Game. Also tonight, another bit of a shocker. Gadsden City began the preseason in number 6 at number 9 in the state. Oxford tonight goes into Gadsden City. This was our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Coach Michael Short there. He'll have the post-game interviews. We'll have every bit of the highlights tonight of this. Really a shocker. Not shocked that Oxford won, but Oxford was up 56-14 at one point. A couple of late scores by Gadsden City to make it closer really than it was. And what an impressive performance by Oxford as they beat Gadsden City 56-28. Guess what, folks? Next week, Oxford will be hosting Jacksonville at Lamar Field in Oxford. That is going to be, I think, our game of the week coming up next week. Also tonight, we'll have highlights of this game from the Hill at Walter Welborn. Walter Welborn on the new Jeff Smith Field, the new turf out at Welborn. They're 1-0 on that turf. They beat Calhoun County rival Weaver 53-0. 26-4 now. Welborn leads that series. We'll have highlights of that game. Total domination by Welborn tonight. By the way, the head coach of the Walter Welborn Panthers, Jeff Smith, he joins us later on tonight right here live on After the Game. Another shocker. This is, we're checking on this. We know that Geraldine won the game. Number 3 team in the state in Class 3A. We know they beat Anniston. It was 56-6 at one point. We're getting maybe a 54-6 score. But the big story here is that Geraldine, number 3 team in 3A, we thought Anniston probably was the favorite, the state runner-up last year in Class 4A. They go to Coolidge-Isbell Stadium on Sand Mountain at Geraldine tonight, and Geraldine wins it big. We don't have the final confirmed yet, but it was either 56-6 or 54-22 is what we're hearing. We got a couple of conflicting scores, but the final is Geraldine, a big winner tonight over the Anniston Bulldogs in the debut of Anniston coach Damian Dorsey. They had not met since 1932. That was 94 years ago, the last time that they met, and it did not go. It went Anniston's way big time the last time they played. It was 66-6 This time, it was almost the reverse. Geraldine, a big winner tonight over the Anniston Bulldogs up on Sand Mountain. AHSAA and New Hope. This game is in overtime. It may be over. We're checking on the final on this. Might be over. Scott Peavy, former Wellborn coach, former Etowah coach, this year moved to New Hope, brings his team back to the Creek Bank at AHSAA. This game was tied 16-16, going to overtime on the Creek Bank at AHSAA. New Hope scored in their part of the overtime, and there it is. That is a final in overtime. New Hope 22, AHSAA 16 tonight on the Creek Bank at AHSAA. We will have highlights of that coming up on after the game. We continue on the Whataburger scoreboard. Still looking for a final on Jacksonville Christian and the Alabama School for the Deaf playing tonight at Tommy Miller Field. And by the way, Coach Miller retiring this year. This is the debut of the new Jacksonville Christian Thunder head coach Rod Cates tonight. JCA and ASD still looking for a final on that game. Last night, we'll have complete highlights, post-game reaction, interviews, and all that. Really impressive performance, especially in the second half by Cleburne County. They led 6-0 at halftime. 21-0 Cleburne County wins over Etowah at Jim Glover Field in Attala. Cleburne County over the last 2 years is 4-0 on Thursday nights, and they've all been road games. Cleburne County last night, 21-0 win over the Etowah Blue Devils. Complete highlights and post-game reaction of that game coming on after the game. Also, still looking for a final score on Randolph County and Woodland. This game being played down at Hugh and Humphreys Stadium, Ron Waters Field in Wedowee tonight. Two rival teams about 8 miles apart there in Randolph County. This is a series that has been not dominated lately by Randolph County. They have won 12 straight in the series. Still looking for a final score on that game from down in Wedowee. Also, last night, interesting game. They call this the Battle of Highway 22. Next door neighbors, Horseshoe Bend of New Site, traveling to play number 2 Wadley, who finished number 2 in the state last year in Class 1A. Lost a lot of people, probably the best offensive line in Class 1A. They roll over Horseshoe Bend 46-13. Wadley is coached by Date Rivers, his second year. Shannon Motley, the team that won the state, the coach that won the state championship for Wadley 2 years ago, he's now the coach at Horseshoe Bend. He was returning to Wadley to take on his old team. You see that, the debut with Horseshoe Bend's head coach Shannon Motley did not go his way tonight as Wadley rolls over Horseshoe Bend last night, I should say, on Thursday night. Number 2 Wadley, impressive again, 46-13 over Horseshoe Bend. Also tonight, still looking for a final on Central Clay County and Fife. This was a game that had a lightning delay down at Volunteer Stadium in Lineville. The two winningest head coaches in state of Alabama history, all-time period. Paul Benefield of Fife, Danny Horn of Clay County. That was the big storyline here. Clay Central number 3 in Class 4A, Fife number 2 in Class 2A. 14-0 Central Clay leading it late in the third quarter. A lightning delay put this game back by over half an hour tonight down at Volunteer Stadium. We'll bring you some highlights. There'll be defensive highlights for you, but we will bring you highlights from down at Central of Clay County tonight. Sylacauga and Holtville tonight, Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Let's just tell you, down to the south of I-20 tonight, weather playing a big piece of havoc down there with those games. So this will be one of those games likely affected by the weather. We'll have a final score for you before the evening is over. Thursday night game, Childersburg, a little bit surprising here. Matt Zedeker and the Childersburg Tigers playing at home. They beat B.B. Comer, their rival from Sylacauga, coming over to Childersburg. Very impressive win by Childersburg in that Class 3A Region 4. Childersburg beats B.B. Comer last night, 31-6, the final score. Let's take a look now at Fayetteville and Central of Coosa. This has been a series that Fayetteville has dominated. They've won 7 of the last 8 meetings, still looking for a final. That game at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville tonight. Again, another game down to our south impacted by the weather this evening. A lot of lightning delays down there. We'll get you a final from Farm Links Field as soon as possible. Another game down south, Winterboro playing all their games on the road this year. They'll play away from Winterboro. Their home games, so to speak, those will be played at the old John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. They were playing there tonight against Vincent, big rival game. We are still looking for a final again. This is going to be all the Winterboro games being played, home games being played at Childersburg this year. They played all their games on the road last year. Still, stadium not repaired from the tornado that they had all the way back in spring of 2025, a year and a half ago. Again, this is going to be another area of the country impacted by weather tonight, so those games are running behind down to the south in South Talladega County. Last night, Lincoln beats Talladega. Great football game. One of the better games in the state last night. The Golden Bears, Brett Henderson and the Golden Bears go into Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. Packed house last night. Big crowd, as you can imagine, for this Talladega County rivalry. Lincoln beats Talladega 36-29 the final last night from Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega. Bessemer City and Pell City, let me give you an update on this. We don't have a final as of yet, but Bessemer City was leading tonight in Bessemer against Pell City in the second half, 22-14. Still looking for a final on this first game ever between Bessemer City and Pell City. Pell City getting the good news this week. They had a reversal from the Central Board of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and they're playoff eligible. They had a lot of good news this week, but not good news so far tonight. Game not over with, but Bessemer City was leading Pell City 22-14 over in Bessemer tonight. We continue looking at scores. Here's a new score just in. Victory Christian tonight was a winner over Raglan. This might surprise some folks. Raglan expected to have a very good year in Class 1A. Victory Christian, though, they come in to Joan Ford Stadium in Raglan tonight. They beat the Purple Devils 43-21. Raglan, as you can see, had won 17 of the last 21 meetings, but not tonight. Victory Christian beats Raglan 43-21 tonight at Raglan. Bit of a surprise. Always surprises in week 1 of the season. Here's another one. Number 7 Moody, defending Class 5A state champion, moving to 4A with a reclassification. Number 3 team in the state in 5A, Briarwood Christian. Look at Briarwood. The last home game for Moody was against Briarwood Christian last year in the quarterfinal round of the 5A playoffs. I was at that game over at Bill Maher Stadium in Moody, and Moody had their way with Briarwood. Briarwood flipped the table tonight as Briarwood Christian goes in and they hammer the Moody Blue Devils 35-7. Of course, Briarwood, should say Moody, with a lot of losses as far as personnel. Jake Gaines, the coach, moved down I-20 to Pell City. You know that story. But Briarwood tonight comes into Moody, and they beat the defending 5A champion Blue Devils 35-7. Another bit of a shocker tonight over in St. Clair County. Let's take a look at this final score. We don't have an update on this one. Asheville and Springville, looking at my list here, it was 19-18 Asheville in the second half. This is a bitter St. Clair County rivalry taking place at Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville tonight. Second half, Asheville leading Springville 19-18. Close series, as you can see. We'll have a final coming for you momentarily on that game from Ken Logan Stadium. Last night, St. Clair County, a team that won 10 games last year with a lot of returnees, they go into Gardendale. They beat the Rockets last night 34-7. That's the team that's going to make some noise in Class 5A. Big win last night over in Jefferson County at Gardendale. Let's return to action tonight. I think this is actually 20-15. Cedar Bluff, though, goes into West End tonight. Big win. Cole Murphy, the former Gainesville player, Spring Garden assistant, first game as a head coach at Cedar Bluff. They go into West End at Walnut Grove. They beat the Patriots, I think it was 20-15. We got that at 21. We'll get that corrected. There it is, 20. Cedar Bluff beating West End tonight, 20-15. They haven't met in 29 years. 1997, the last time they met. Big win for Cole Murphy and Cedar Bluff as they win at West End tonight, 20-15. Last night, we'll have highlights of this game. Gaston. Remember this name. You're going to see a lot of him later on tonight here on After the Game. Zion Dupree. Randy Dupree, the head coach at Gaston's little brother. He ain't a little guy. He's a four-star running back playing 2A football, and last night he had 4 touchdowns rushing as Gaston goes in and beats Spring Garden 36-12. You're going to see some impressive video from Mr. Dupree later on tonight as Gaston goes to 1-0 with that win over Spring Garden last night out at the Garden. Tonight, look at the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. B.J. Brooks, the former Sardis coach, former Glencoe alum, coming back home to Glencoe. They go on the road to Blount County tonight. They beat the Hayden Wildcats 35-8. What a debut for B.J. Brooks as Glencoe goes in and beats Hayden tonight 35-8, the final score over at Hayden. Let's continue looking at Southside and Chelsea. This game not a final yet, but I'll go ahead and tell you that Southside was ahead in this game 28-7. So Miles Holcomb and the Southside Panthers winning over Chelsea 28-7, not a final. First meeting in 11 years tonight at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. Should have a final momentarily, but it looks like Southside second half beating Chelsea 28-7, so we should have a final on that. Looks like it's going to be a win number 1 of the season for the Southside Panthers. We continue with games going on as we roll ahead to games taking place in Etowah County. Pierce County, Georgia. Former Oxford High School head coach Ryan Herring, former Gaston High School head coach Swain Morris. He's back as the DC down in Blackshear, Georgia, and they come in tonight. Last 2 years they played down in South Georgia. This year, Pierce County comes in to take on the defending 2A state champion Coosa Christian tonight over in Gadsden. It was all Pierce County. This is a different Coosa Christian team. They don't have their same head coach. They lost a lot of their players. Pierce County comes all the way from South Georgia tonight, and they beat Coosa Christian 55-0 in the final from over at Philip Ellen Field. Sardis and Haralson County, Georgia, not a final, but I will tell you that late in that game, Haralson County was leading Sardis 27-0 at the Lions Den in Sardis. And now it's 40-0. There's the final. Haralson County 40, Sardis nothing. Wes Tidwell, former Raglan head coach, making his debut as a head coach at Sardis. This was a late replacement game. When Scottsboro got moved down from 5A to 4A, it left a lot of things going on. Haralson County was supposed to open tonight with Cherokee County in center. That game had to go away when Scottsboro made that a 9-team region. So Haralson County and Sardis decided to meet up with each other, and that was a good decision for Haralson County. Out of Tallapoosa, Georgia, the Rebels go in. They beat Sardis tonight 40-0 up on Sand Mountain at Sardis. And games around the state, this was a top 10 matchup. Number 10 in 1A Lochapoka beating the number 7 team in 2A Lynette. Lynette, the 2A runner-up from last year, meeting tonight in Lochapoka. Lochapoka had their way with the Lynette Panthers 40-20, a little bit of a surprise there. Other statewide games tonight and last night from across the state of Alabama. This was a little bit of surprise, not because of who won, but the amount. Number 4 in 6A Vestavia Hills beating number 3 5A Parker last night at Thompson Reynolds Stadium in Vestavia, 32-14, the final in that game. A couple of other games still looking for a final on Hoover and Muscle Shoals. It was 7-6 Hoover early. That's very early over at the Hoover Met. Number 6 Hoover in Class 6A, leading number 5 in 5A Muscle Shoals 7-6 early on. We should have a final score in that game momentarily. And finally tonight, or last night, the Kickoff Classic was not played at Crampton Bowl. It was played over at Central Phoenix City. Number 2 in 6A Central Phoenix City. Number 1 Thompson, defending state champion. Thompson totally dominating as they beat Central Phoenix City 41-14 last night in a 1 versus number 2 matchup in Class 6A. That is our Whataburger scoreboard, and we'll update that a little bit later on our Whataburger scoreboard. We'll take you through all the final scores as we have them on this Football Friday night. All right, let's tell you about we're going to kick off with our awards right off the bat. We're going to tell you about our concession stand of the week. Johnson's Giant Food is back with that, I'm wrong with that. Not concession stand. Band of the week. Our Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week, our first one. Something different is going to happen this year. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But our first Emblem Credit Union Band of the Week is the Etowah High School Marching Blue Devil Band. Here they are, Jim Gloverfield and Atala from last night, performing at halftime of the game against the folks from Cleburne County. Adrian Peters is the band director. Their theme this year is Pulse, and they have 48 members. They're going to participate in the Mid-South Marching Festival at Titan Stadium in Gadsden. They're also going to go out to the Beaver Pond Marching Festival. Yes, that is real. That is out at West End High School in Walnut Grove a little bit later on in the fall. And let me tell you what's going to happen. They're not only going to be celebrated as our Band of the Week from Emblem Credit Union, but we are going to, with all of our bands of the week, very excited about this, Kona Ice joining and partnering up with High School Football Alabama's after the game. And we're going to be going out to Etowah High School after band practice on Tuesday. The high is going to be around 90 degrees. And all of the 48 members of the Etowah High School Marching Blue Devil Band are going to get their choice of Kona Ice shaved ice. That's going to be fantastic. Let's show you the folks at Kona Ice here. Kona Ice of Calhoun County, local and veteran-owned shaved ice franchise, and they have the Flavor Wave. They give back over $500,000 nationally, and they strive to live out their motto every day: be good, do good, for good. Kona Ice partnering with After the Game to bring you our free shaved ice for all of our Emblem Credit Union bands of the week. Let's tell you about the Calhoun County Commission. Those folks are fantastic supporters of everything in Calhoun County, including After the Game. Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, Lee Patterson. They support all the school systems, the recreational and tourism sites, everything going on that improves the quality of life in Calhoun County. Your Calhoun County Commission is on top of that, and they are our presenting sponsor this year. It is High School Football Alabama's After the Game, and that is presented again in 2026 by the Calhoun County Commission. When we come back, the head football coach of the Hope Christian Saints, Chris Stone, live with us on After the Game.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
We stand for Mother Nature. Home sweet home. The best you. Sunsets with friends. Hustle. Art that lasts. Life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. Amos & Askew CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheaha Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheaha family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheahaCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Ted's Floors and Beyond back with us. Coming up later on tonight at the end of the program, we will be announcing our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. Number of candidates. You'll have to wait and see. A lot of surprises this week in the first week of the high school football season. Later on at the end of the show tonight, we will unveil to you the Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. And let's tell you about Ted's Floors and Beyond. They have Wellborn cabinets now, professional installation. They also now do complete kitchen and bath makeovers, custom tile showers, backsplashes. They have quartz and granite countertops. As we said, Welborn Cabinetry, flooring, hardwood, laminate, tile, everything that you need. Check them out, Ted's Floors and Beyond. Go by their showroom, U.S. Highway 431 in the Sachs area of Anniston. Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short, he's at Gadsden City tonight for that Gadsden City-Oxford game. They're working their way back, a huge crowd over at Titan Stadium. They'll be a while getting here. Chad Barnett back with us. He's working on getting some game video edited. He'll be back with us later on showing highlights. But what we do have for you right now, the head coach of the Hope Christian Saints, Coach Chris Stone, is with us live tonight here on After the Game. And our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser tonight. You're our first guest of the year on the Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. And Coach, last night, just a phenomenal win. I know last year we were at your first game ever in the AHSAA. Last night was your first game as a member of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. As we said earlier, probably the first of many athletic contests, not just football, with Donahoe. That's probably going to be a big rivalry. But last night, you're 32-0 at halftime. You win it 48-7. Tell us about the big win last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the guys, from day one, we started this summer, just building, getting better, camps over the summer. Guys bought into it, and it's been a blessing to see them grow every day. We tell them every day, if you just get better 1%, that's all that matters. We'll just continue to strive to do that.
The team this year, some returnees, a lot of returnees coming back. It looks like that your numbers are up.
Yes.
About 40 people on the roster, something like that, which for private school, small school, that's a good number.
Yes, so 39. About 15 of them make up that junior high squad that we have this year. Some 7th and 8th graders. Last night we were able to get some of our freshmen in, and they played well. But yes, we do. We went from 32 last year to 39 this year.
Tell us about the game itself last night. Obviously, you jumped on them early, 32-0 at halftime. Tell about some of the big players, some of what you felt like that went right. Not a lot went wrong apparently last night, but I know coaches always see some things to improve on. What were you pleased with? What do you see that you got to? Because we'll talk about this big game coming up next week. But tell us about the game last night.
So ultimately, we preach offensively, defensively, really every phase of the game. Coming out and starting fast, right? So we start on defense. We get the ball back, offense, and then our starting quarterback, Cannon Bozeman, takes it 70, 72 yards maybe, whatever it was, to the house. So starting fast right there. Offensive line played well. Need to get up our condition a little bit, clean up some flags. That's to be expected early on in the game. But they started fast. They played well. They came out. They were hyped up, and it was an awesome evening. Fans, stadium atmosphere was awesome.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at highlights this earlier. You know, your stadium, for folks that don't know, is right there by the Anniston Airport, literally by the runway. Yeah. So we had a shot of a plane landing over there. There you come out with those purple jerseys. There you are, Coach, as we look at some highlights of this game. So improvements. Next week, you got a big school coming in. Charles Henderson of Troy, big 4A school coming to town. So what's the improvements as we look at this video here from that you see for next week?
Oh, for next week, ultimately clean up the penalties. I think we had 9 penalties, some of them silly. Early on in the year, you fall into things like that. We'll get it cleaned up. We'll watch it on film. But that is something that we need to definitely improve on. And then also, I love this team from this year compared to last year. Physicality was much better, but we got to continue to capitalize on that.
We talked about the game next week. We don't want to put this one in the rearview mirror too much. It's a big win against Donahoe.
Yes, sir.
As we said, that's going to be a huge rivalry in years to come, not just in football, but in a lot of sports. Two schools probably 5-6 miles apart, something like that. It's going to be a huge rivalry. You'll always be in the same region, always will be in the same areas and things like that, and sectionals as far as the other sports go. But we look ahead. I asked you at Media Days, you remember asking me about how does this Charles Henderson of Troy, big school, very successful program through the years. They've won state championships. They're coming to play at Big Jack Stovall Field next week, coming up from Troy. They play their home games at Veterans Memorial Stadium where Troy plays.
Yes, sir.
So tell us how the game came about. You didn't back off about your chances of playing with these guys. Tell us about it.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So when we transitioned over and it was announced that we were going to the AHSAA, I think that was right there at the end of March. Every coach in the state already had their schedule done, right? So I'm scrambling trying to just get games to fill my schedule. Well, someone was at a state meet down at AHSAA. Somebody spoke my name to Coach Jones down there at Charles Henderson. He called me one day, and I said, Coach, you're 4A school. I'm a single A private. I said, I'm going to have to call you back. So I did a little research, but then looking at our schedule, and at this time, I'm glad that we actually did it because AHSAA, not there long after, in July, ended up going back to the AHSAA. So we'll have a bye after that week. So we had another week to recuperate. But I also I want my guys to have a challenge. You know what I mean? So I want them to understand that there's always room for improvement. So we got a tough team coming in that a lot of people will probably pick. But here's the deal. We go out there and play just like they play. And what if we do, you know what I mean? We get out there and we go and we execute. We can hang with anybody if we execute.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about your region. You mentioned that. Obviously, private schools.
Yes, sir.
You didn't know this when it happened. You still thought you were going to be in the AHSAA when this was released in January.
Yeah.
So, but you're affected by it. All the private schools in the Alabama High School Athletic Association moving into their own classifications. You're in the single A, which is the smaller private schools, obviously. That region, Tuscaloosa Academy, they've been very good the last 2 or 3 years. Then you got Donahoe, you got yourself, Victory Christian, Pickens Academy, Holy Spirit Catholic in Tuscaloosa, Elwood Christian down in Selma in that region. Kind of assess the region as you see it, what maybe little that you know about this region.
The region, ultimately, coming into it, when the classification, where they told us what classification a region we would be in, obviously we went and done our research. Of course, Tuscaloosa Academy has been very good. I had an opportunity to meet Coach Wright at a West Alabama 7-on-7 camp this past July, and I met with him, and he was very integral in helping me try and navigate where I could get in on the schedule because it affected everybody in that region too. They had to change their schedules around to accommodate us, and at that time I felt kind of like a burden, but these guys, they were very accommodating, helping us come in. Very good teams in this region. I know Victory's a very dominant run game. They're
big
physical.
Win tonight over Raglan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Big win for them. They're physical. And of course, Tuscaloosa Academy, they're a really good team. Elwood, I mean, the region itself it's a challenge that we're up for.
Coach, before we let you go, from what we've seen so far early in the season and kind of going into the season, knowing what kind of talent you have and those kind of things, it appears that Hope is going to be well prepared to contend not only for a playoff berth, but maybe even a region title in this. This is Region 3 of Single A Private. I think you guys as good a shot at anybody at maybe hosting a first-round playoff game.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And from the beginning when we started this summer, I come into it and I told the kids, I found a quote online that really resonated with me, and it's vision without execution is hallucination, which ultimately means that, we can have the vision, we can have the ultimate goal of playing in Mobile for a state championship, but if we don't go out every single snap and we don't execute, then it's all for naught. It's all just hallucination. We have to execute, focus on those small details. And I think with this team, if we continue to do that and improve day in and day out, that we will be a contender in the region and as well as potentially in the playoffs.
I like that. Before we let you get out of here, give that quote one more time.
Vision without execution is hallucination.
Vision without execution is hallucination.
Yes,
I've never heard that quote before.
Yes, sir.
Coach Stone, congratulations on the big win over Donahoe. Your first win in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Another first. You've been a part of all of them.
Yes, sir.
At Hope Christian, another first last night. They look back years from now, and it'll be their first win over Donahoe and their first win in the AHSAA. Chris Stone, our guest on our Noble Bank and Trust postgame presser, head coach of the Hope Christian Saints. Congratulations again on the game last night. Let's tell you about our friends, and we have a lot of friends here at After the Game. Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble. We were out at Piedmont tonight, kind of give you a hint of where we were tonight with our first Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. And if you're looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama, right here in the Oxford-Anniston area, you cannot beat Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble. Visit cheehawcheerandtumble.com today. When we come back, we've got more highlights. We're just getting started on this football Friday night on After the Game. Wellborn head coach Jeff Smith and a lot more still ahead as After the Game rolls on. Finally, it's here on a football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle and attach today.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At AHSAA Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. AHSAA CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit cheehawcheerandtumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Anniston Orthopedics, another longtime sponsor since the beginning of high school football Alabama's After the Game. They're the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama. Highly skilled, kind, experienced physicians, Doctors Vandervoort, Tippett, Hardy, Wiedmer, Morris, sports medicine trainers, Sean Seeger, Jessica Martin. They're on the sidelines. Sean Seeger out the big jamboree they had out at Alexandria last week. And they are continuing to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury on and off the field. Anniston Orthopedics. All right, so we're back here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this Football Friday night. And let's see where we're going next on this. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back. Nope. All right, so here's the scores right now. Here we go. We've got some updated scores for you for our Whataburger scoreboard. These are new finals that have just come in. Waiting on that to pop up for you here. Here we go. Number 3, Geraldine. This is the reason that we waited on this. Number 3, Geraldine did beat Anniston, but the final was actually 61-22 tonight up at Coolidge-Isbell Stadium in Geraldine. An impressive win by number 3, Geraldine, as they beat Anniston 61-22. Also tonight, this is now a final as well, as we're going to tell you about AHSAA and New Hope. This was an overtime game. AHSAA was up 16-0 at one time. New Hope brought it all the way back. They go to overtime, tied 16-16, and New Hope beats AHSAA 23-16 was the final tonight at the Creek Bank at AHSAA. We will have some highlights of that game coming from the Creek Bank a little bit later on. Also tonight, this is a new final score, an impressive win for Rod Cates and Jacksonville Christian tonight at home at Dr. Tommy Miller Field at Jacksonville at JCA tonight. JCA beating ASD 49-0 tonight. an impressive win. Rod Cates wins in his debut tonight. And those are 3 new final scores that we have. And I think we may have an update here, an update on Clay Central and 5. That game delayed. They're now in overtime. Clay Central led it 14-0 at one point for most of the game. 5 scores, 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and that game is now 14-14 in overtime down at Volunteer Stadium at Clay Central. I don't know if we have this or not. We're going to do we have the Assistant Coach of the Week promo that we're going to talk about here? Let's throw that up there. We're going to go ahead and tell you about our Assistant Coach of the Week that is going to be presented by the folks at Anniston Orthopedics. We're bringing that back. Anniston Orthopedics is going to present to you one of the best assistant coaches every week. We'll begin this next Friday night with our Assistant Coach of the Week presented by the folks at Anniston Orthopedics. Let's talk about the folks at Noble Bank and Trust bringing you the post-game presser. You just saw the head coach of Hope Christian, Chris Stone, talking about his team. The Martha Vandervoort Memorial Golf Classic presented by Noble Bank and Trust. That is coming up on October 15th and 16th. And that is a major fundraiser where they give all the proceeds back to local community organizations here in East Alabama. They have locations in Piedmont, in Anniston, in Oxford. They're also in Alexandria. They're in Heflin. They're at the Summit in Birmingham. Noble Bank and Trust. And they are great supporters of high school football Alabama, and bringing you our segment here called the Post-Game Presser on Football Friday Nights. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back as After the Game rolls on the Football Friday Night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
At Jack State, we know what it takes to be ready. Ready is reps. Ready is research. Ready is resilience. Ready is right now. Because opportunity doesn't wait, and neither do we. Don't just show up. Show up ready. Jacksonville State University, where ready begins.
I love getting to work with Noble Bank. They hold the same values that I do personally and our company.
It's like working with a big bank, but with a small town feel. You get to deal with the banker directly when you need anything at any time.
It's crucial for small businesses to have an independent bank because we don't always fit in a box.
It is such a special feeling to be able to walk into a place where literally everyone knows your name.
Anytime I'm out talking about banking, I'm always quick to recommend Noble Bank. They always get everything done just the way I need it done.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Why do people love Whataburger? Well, we could give you the reasons. But the reasons ain't the same as tasting 100% fresh American beef. Plus more bold toppings and sauces than my cousin Franny's got excuses for missing work. But really, it's just hospitality, the family kind. Just ask Aunt Marla. She's a character. Hey! What a burger. Come one, come y'all.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
RO Supply Windows and Doors stepping up this year, not only bringing you the touchdown t-shirts, you're going to see a lot of those going out in our highlights tonight at stadiums around the area, but also bringing you our muscle team this year. They're bringing you the muscle team, one of the top offensive and defensive lines around East Alabama. They will be our RO Supply Windows and Doors muscle team. RO Supply, they've been in business since 1997. They proudly carry the nation's top window brands. They stock standard windows and doors to meet immediate project needs, and they now have cabinets and flooring. RO Supply Windows and Doors is their specialty. Go by and see them on South Noble Street in Anniston. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this football Friday night. We got so many new finals that have come in, and this is changing quickly. Some of the games down south are starting to end. We got more surprises. So right now, let's go to the Whataburger scoreboard once again and go through all of our final scores. If you're just coming in from games tonight, highlights of this game coming. Not a shocker that Jacksonville won, but Jacksonville dominates tonight over number 1 Piedmont 34-8. We'll have the final, should have the highlights of that game coming up a little bit later on After the Game. Also tonight, another big game, number 5 and 2A Pleasant Valley. They beat White Plains tonight, 26-7 out at Raider Field. Highlights of that game coming on After the Game. As you saw earlier, we're talking about Hope Christian. You saw the highlights. We'll have to tell you who some of those players are with Chad Barnett a little bit later on. Hope Christian beating Donahoe 48-7, the final score last night down at Big Jack Stovall Stadium in Oxford. As we look at more final scores from around the Calhoun County area, Oxford, this was our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game of the week. Oxford tonight, this game not even this close. They pound number 9 and 6A Gadsden City at Titan Stadium in Gadsden, 56-28. They led 56-14 in the fourth quarter, a couple of late scores by Gadsden City. So we will have complete highlights and post-game reaction from this monster win by the Oxford Yellow Jackets tonight at Titan Stadium over Gadsden City. Also highlights of this game coming. Good debut of the turf on the hill at Walter Welborn. Head coach of the Panthers, Jeff Smith, will be joining us live right here on After the Game tonight. They beat Weber tonight very impressively, 53-0. This game, a surprise. Not because Geraldine won. After all, they're the number 3 team in 3A, but they beat the Anniston Bulldogs 61-22 the final. It was 56-6 at one point in the game. Not a good debut for Anniston head coach Damian Dorsey on the road at Coolidge-Isbell Stadium in Geraldine. Also tonight, heartbreaking loss for the Ohatchee Indians. Ohatchee led 16-0 at one point. Got that? Ohatchee, okay. Down 16-0. Ohatchee was down 16-0, brought it back. New Hope, this game goes to overtime. New Hope, Scott Peavy, former Welborn and Etowah head coach. New Hope in overtime beats Ohatchee 23-16, the final from the Creek Bank at Ohatchee. Chad Barnett was there. We'll have highlights of that game coming up on After the Game. JCA, Rod Cates' debut as the head coach. They win tonight in Jacksonville, beating the Alabama School for the Deaf, who also had a new head coach, John Moore, 49-0, the final score in that game. Also last night, complete highlights and post-game reaction of this game at Jim Glover Field in Attala. Cleburne County, very impressive, 21-0 win over the Etowah Blue Devils last night. Highlights of that game on the way. Going back to action tonight, here's a new score. Woodland tonight, look at this. Randolph County had won 12, has now won 12 of 13. They had won 12 in a row until tonight. Huge win for the Woodland Bobcats as they go into Hewlin Humphreys Stadium, Ron Waters Field in Wedowee, and they beat their bitter arch rival from 8 miles down the road. Huge win for Woodland tonight, 28-14 over Randolph County down in Wedowee. Let's take a look at more final scores as we continue. Last night, number 2 Wadley, Shannon Motley, former head coach at Wadley, who won their first and only state championship in school history. Now the coach at Horseshoe Bend. Big rival game. Horseshoe Bend makes the trip down Highway 22, and it's not good for Shannon Motley and Horseshoe Bend. He returned where he had a lot of victories down there at Wadley, but it was not last night. Wadley wins 46-13 over Horseshoe Bend. We have a final score in that may surprise some folks. Central of Clay County, number 3 in 4A, first time ever in 4A, taking on the number 2 team in 2A Fife. Clay Central led this game 14-0 in the fourth quarter down at Volunteer Stadium. They go to overtime, another overtime game tonight, and Fife in overtime beat Central of Clay County 21-20. We're bringing some early highlights of that game from down at Volunteer Stadium. Also tonight, we're still looking for a final score on Sylacauga and Holtville. Keep in mind, folks, that down south they had a lot of lightning delays. That Clay Central game, I think this game was a lightning delay at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga, so a lot of lightning delays and things like that going on down to the south. As we continue looking at scores, last night Childersburg, again, a little bit of a surprise. Matt Zedeker and the Tigers at home, they rout B.B. Comer 31-6 in that Talladega County rivalry game. This is another big win as we take a look at games in Talladega County tonight. As we go to the next score, we'll show you that Fayetteville and Central AHSAA, we had a partial on that, I thought, earlier. I thought we had a final on that one. That Fayetteville was ahead in that game. We'll try to find a final score. The Wolves have won 7 of the last 8 meetings. As we continue here on the Whataburger scoreboard, Winterboro, this is a new score. They're playing every game away from home again this year. Stadium still not repaired from the tornado of 18 months ago. Winterboro tonight at home, they beat Vincent. That's very big. Winterboro wins 28-15. Their home games this year all at the old John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. Winterboro making that their home, and they felt at home tonight as they beat Vincent 28-15. More final scores tonight. Talladega from last night in Lincoln. This was a great game, a packed house at Mary Dumas Stadium in Talladega last night as Lincoln beats the Talladega Tigers 36-29. Good debut of the 2026 season for Coach Brett Henderson on a Thursday night down in Talladega. More final scores coming in. This is a bit of a surprise as well. They got good news at Pell City this week. They're eligible for the playoffs again, but they had to go play a football game in Bessemer tonight against Bessemer City, and we gave you the partial, and the partial wound up being the final. Bessemer City beating Pell City 31-14 tonight over in Bessemer. Let's take a look at more scores from down I-20 St. Clair County way. This will surprise some folks. Not that Victory Christian won. Matt Griffith, great football coach, got the Lions playing tonight very well at Raglan at Joan Ford Stadium. They beat the Purple Devils 43-21 tonight. Huge win for the Victory Christian Lions. Some more surprising scores coming your way. Here's one of them. Number 3, Briarwood. Number 7, Moody. Briarwood, of course, number 3 in Class 5A. Moody, number 7. Look at Briarwood, number 3 in big school, I should say, private school. Briarwood Christian, 35-7 over Moody. I was at the game the last time that they played a home game at Bill Morris Stadium in the quarterfinals of the playoffs last year, and that was a game that was dominated by Moody. They went on to win the 5A state championship. Tonight, totally reversed. Briarwood Christian comes in, and they beat Moody tonight 35-7. Big rivalry game in St. Clair County, a huge one. It's always close. The series is always close. Asheville and Springville came right down to the wire again. The Bulldogs at Kid Logan Stadium in Asheville, they beat their bitter rivals from down I-59 at Springville. Asheville wins it 19-18. Another big win for Mark Sanders and the Asheville Bulldogs. We're going to journey up north a little bit now after we tell you about St. Clair County. St. Clair County beat Gardendale 34-7 last night over at Gardendale. This is a team to watch in 5A. Very, very talented football team. I saw them at the FCA McClellan 7-on-7. A lot of great athletes tonight. They beat the Rockets in Gardendale 34-7. We continue with our Whataburger scoreboard on this football Friday night. Cedar Bluff, Cole Murphy making his debut, the Gainesville alum. Now the head coach of Cedar Bluff. How about that? Cedar Bluff tonight goes to West End. They beat the Patriots 20-15. He wins his first game ever as a head football coach tonight. Congratulations to Cole Murphy and the Cedar Bluff Tigers. A game that we are about to see highlights of with Chad Barnett as he makes his debut on After the Game for the 2026 season. Gaston Bulldogs, we'll talk more about this. Remember the name Zion Dupree. You're going to see a lot of him in just a moment. They win at Spring Garden last night very impressively. 36-12 the final from out at the Garden last night. Well, let's continue with more final scores. Glencoe, B.J. Brooks, Glencoe alum, coming home. First game as head coach at his alma mater. They go to Hayden in Blount County. They beat the Wildcats 35-8 tonight. Also this evening, It was Southside and Chelsea playing. And how about Southside? They had the lead. They made it stand up. An impressive win from Miles Holcomb and the Southside Panthers. Southside beats Chelsea 30-7 at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. We continue with some good news for some Etowah County teams, some bad news for Etowah County teams. Pierce County, Georgia, Ryan Herring, former Oxford head coach, former Gaston head coach, Swain Morris is his DC, coming all the way from South Georgia to Gadsden tonight. And Pierce County beats defending Class 2A state champion Coosa Christian tonight, 55-0, spoiling the coaching debut of Alaric Williams in his first game as a head football coach ever, and the first game as head football coach at Coosa Christian. Also, as we look at this score, Haralson County, Georgia, they come over from Tallapoosa, come to Sardis. They beat the Lions tonight, spoiling the debut of new Sardis head coach and former Raglan head coach Wes Tidwell. Haralson County wins it 40-0 tonight up at the Lions Den at Sardis. Some games around the state. Number 10 in Class 1A, Lochapoka beating number 7 in 2A, Lynette tonight, 40-20 down in Lee County at Lochapoka. Some other big games involving state-ranked teams around the state last night and tonight. Number 4, Vestavia Hills in 6A, they rout number 3 in 5A, Parker. Not surprised Vestavia won, but surprising they won 32-14. Also in a game played tonight, this is a final monumental battle. Number 6 Hoover in Class 6A, number 5 in 5A Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals comes into the Hoover Met. They give up Hoover all they want. Hoover beats Muscle Shoals 14-8, the final in that game. And one more final score. We'll go full screen on you on this one. Thompson, number 1 team in Class 6A. They beat Central of Phoenix City 41-14 last night in what was the kickoff classic down at Garrett Harrison Stadium in Phoenix City. Number 1 Thompson, defending state champion in 7A. There's no 7A anymore, 6A, it doesn't matter. The Warriors still taking care of business. That's our Whataburger scoreboard on this football Friday night. More final scores still to come. Time for some more game video. We welcome in for the first time in 2026 our very own Chad Barnett. He's been working hard tonight.
Yes.
Our crew has been working hard tonight. It's been kind of a crazy night. Games are lasting late. Things are going on. We're in a new studio. There's some things happening and things like that, but everything's good. Chad, we mentioned the name Zion Dupree.
Yes. Yes.
And this is going to be, the video we're about to see here is going to be the Zion Dupree show from last night out at Spring Garden.
Well, it's interesting, too, because you look at the relationship between Zion Dupree and head coach Randy Dupree. You know, I used to cover Randy Dupree back in his days in Etowah, and he was a stud running back way back in the day. And now his younger brother now comes in from Texas, and he's a stud, coming in hoping to get a bump from this Texas kid, coming in to be the running back for the Gaston Bulldogs. And boy, he had a nice showing to start out. We're going to go to Dupree on a 9-yard gain to start out the highlights tonight. As you'll see, number 5, pretty much throughout these highlights. Dupree again, this time he's going to take it 12 yards on the near sideline for a first down. Next play, Clay's going to fake to Joyce, or fake and give and hit Jace Stevens near the marker. He's going to be down just short of the goal line. Next play, Dupree, he's going to punch this one in on a keeper. Gets in there for the touchdown. Extra point is no good. It is 6-0 Bulldogs on top of the Panthers. Shot at Spring Garden there on the sideline. They're looking for their first time with the ball tonight. Brady Ruark keeps it himself. He's going to find a big hole, picks up 15 yards for the Panthers. They've been a good football team the last few years as well, putting up a fight. Ruark this time going to give it off to Benjamin Baker. He's going to take it for 20 yards on the carry. And then Ruark, he's going to be calling his own number right here. And he's going to look pretty good on this keeper. Going to take it 30 yards to the house. Touchdown Panthers. He's fired up. The home squad is fired up as well. Extra point also no good. Still knotted up at 6 apiece. There you see Coach Dupree talking with his Bulldogs, and more of Zion. This time rolls out. Gets the first down for the Bulldogs. He's going to take this one again. This time he's going to step for 30 yards. Big fella rolling down the sideline. We kind of saw a couple of hurdles last night from him that were also called back illegal in high school football still today. Zion Dupree again this time. He's going to take this one not 30 yards but 45 yards for the touchdown. That's going to put them up after the 2-point conversion, direct snap by Dupree. It's going to put it back in there as well. 14-6 the score at the time. Gaston band loving what they see at this point. 1-9 last year. They got a little mojo now. What are they going to do? Yeah, 1-0 tonight. Thanks to this man here, Dupree. Again, this is his third touchdown of the night. Big fella going in. They're going to go up 22-6 at this point. And it was the Zion Dupree show. 4 touchdowns on the night as the Bulldogs roll tonight last night, impressive. 36-12. We've seen Gaston be really good for a while. Remember the Swain Morris days?
Yes.
There's some talk. Maybe they're going to have a good little run this year, too.
I saw them play in the spring jamboree at Glencoe, and I knew at that point in time they were going to be a tough out in that 2A Region 6. After what we witnessed last night, and you made a great point, a group text this morning. I woke up this morning, and I think you were the one who said,
yes,
this is what happens when you have a big school running back from Texas playing small school in Alabama.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't in like the lower ranks. He was in the higher ranks. You play Texas football, it's a different ball game. Alabama, it's good football, but there's something when you talk about Texas football. So he's in the higher ranks of Texas football, successful on that level. And now you come down to the 1A, 2A level in Alabama. It's looking like he's comfortable making this transition.
You know, and also I think he's, according to recruiting services, he's a 3-star. Some recruiting services have him as a 4-star.
Yeah.
When you have a 4-star running back, that kind of talent in
level.
2A in Alabama, you know, folks like, Spring Garden, hey, that's my alma mater, I'll just tell you. We ain't seen things like Zion Dupree.
No.
We just don't see that caliber of player. So I'm telling you, in that region, your Ohatchees, your Welburns, your Pleasant Valleys, and West Ends and Vincents, and even Piedmont. Hey, Gaston is not the same old Gaston. This guy, he gets in the open field. You know, we're talking about a 4-star running back getting into the open field. If they can spring him, Gaston's going to be a problem for some folks this year.
I think it automatically makes him a problem. I mean, he's already got an offer from Pitt. There's some other schools as well. I'm sure that list is going to only grow as this season goes on if he keeps putting up numbers like this. He's obviously got the size and the athleticism. As we mentioned, there were 2 runs that I saw. I put them on my stories. We weren't able to use them in the highlights because they were called back, but just straight up hurdling guys. Did it on more than one occasion. So supremely athletic, fast. He's something to be a problem for this year.
Chad, good job. He's going to go edit some more video. We're going to bring you highlights. They're pouring in. Coach Short is coming. He may already be here, but they're having some trouble getting out of Gadsden tonight. Big, huge crowd at that Gadsden City Oxford game at Titan Stadium. It lasted forever. Obviously, there was, 80-something points scored in that game.
Surprising scores tonight. There's a few of them up and down the board that kind of shocking.
Not shocking who won.
Exactly.
But the difference of who won. Moody getting beat by 4 touchdowns. Piedmont getting beat 34-8 by Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Some of those scores there. And we've got highlights of a lot of games coming still here on After the Game. Chad's going to step out. I'm going to tell you about our folks at Farmers and Merchants Bank. Farmers and Merchants Bank, again, bringing you the Spirit Scholarship. They will also be bringing you our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. And let me tell you, 110 years in business, locations in Piedmont, Anniston, Jacksonville, Oxford, and Center. They have given out well over $35,000 in scholarships to local high school students in Calhoun and Cherokee counties over the last 8 years. And of course, they'll be back with the Spirit Scholarship. That'll crank up here on After the Game coming up in the month of September. And also, of course, next week we'll name our first ever Player of the Week presented by Farmers and Merchants Bank. We'll take a break on this Football Friday night. After the Game, high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented again in 2026 by the Calhoun County Commission.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates. Visit them at AnnistonOrtho.com today or call 256-237-4121 for your appointment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. Amos & Askew CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Why do people love Whataburger? Well, we could give you the reasons. But the reasons ain't the same as tasting 100% fresh American beef. Plus more bold toppings and sauces than my cousin Franny's got excuses for missing work. But really, it's just hospitality, the family kind. Just ask Aunt Marla. She's a character. Hey! What a burger. Come one, come y'all.
Again, bringing our band of the week to you. Also, our scores, the Emblem Credit Union bottom line with scores throughout the night on the bottom of our screen, the ticker, if you will. Emblem Credit Union, they stand for you. They are proud sponsors of Friday Night Lights. They support high school football, Alabama, the incredible athletes, the cheer team, the coaches, and, of course, the band of the week. They all make Friday night special. They're more than a credit union. They stand for you. Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game on this Football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Coach Michael Short's on the way. Head coach of the Walter Wellborn Panthers, Jeff Smith, will be with us a little bit later on. Chad Barnett will be back with more highlights. We've got a couple of award winners already. We're going to begin tonight doing something different this year with Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble. In the past, we've had our cheer squad of the week come live into the studio. We're going out to the field now. We're bringing the Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week to the schools. Our very first Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week this week is the Piedmont Bulldogs. Let's take you out tonight to the Field of Champions. Champions in Piedmont is our first Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. We're doing something different this year. We're coming to the cheerleaders at the stadium. We have Xavier Jackson, a Piedmont legendary football player from Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble, and we got Coach Hanson here from Piedmont High School, the Piedmont cheerleaders here. X, go ahead and make the presentation. Xavier Jackson.
John, it's amazing to be back here at the Field of Champions. Of course, you know, there's a lot of history there for me, but it's more of an honor to be here in this capacity. And Ms. Hanson, on behalf of Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble, I'd like to congratulate you guys on being the cheer team of the week this week.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Go!
at the Field of
That's
Champions
the
in Piedmont
High
is our
School
first
cheerleaders,
Cheer and Tumble.
and they are our Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. The first one of the high school football season. Not only do they get the trophy, but they also get a fanny pack, basically courtesy of the folks at Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble, filled with a lot of goodies in there. And congratulations to Coach Kim Hansen, all the folks up at Piedmont High School. Great hospitality up there tonight. Appreciate the folks in the press box introducing us to the crowd and telling folks what we were doing up there. And we will be at another local high school football stadium next Friday night. Look for us. Don't tell you where we're going, but we're going to be there with our Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. Also, Johnson's Giant Food is back with our concession stand of the week. We're highlighting all the great concession stands across East Alabama. Every one of these booster clubs who put on these concession stands, they are getting a $100 gift card courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food. They have locations all over East Alabama, 6 locations. They're in Jacksonville, Coldwater, they're in Gadsden, East Gadsden, Attala, and now on Highway 77 in Southside. Last night, over at Jim Glover Field in Attala, we visited with the Etowah Touchdown Club. They had some good stuff in that north end zone concession stand. Let's take you out to Attala. Our very first Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week is the Etowah Blue Devils. We're here at Jim Glover Field in Attala. This is in the north end zone. This is the Etowah Touchdown Club, and they're in the north end zone here at Jim Glover Field in Attala. We're speaking with the treasurer of the club, Tiffany Bowley, and tell us about the money that you raise here. It says Etowah Football Concession, so I'm assuming all the money raised goes to support the football team, right?
It does. It goes back into the players in the different programs. We support them with a nutrition program. We support them with summer feeding. Anything they do, team activities as far as pregame. We provide pregame meals when we don't have sponsorships. But everything that we get, it goes back. It's funneled right back through the program. And they need a lot, right? So apparel, food, updated equipment. We do media guides. So that type of stuff. But literally everything's go back to the kids.
All right, so we got a hamburger that's grilled out here that I understand is your best item. So tell us about, besides the hamburger that our guys are going to try, tell us some of the other things if people come to a game here on a Friday night at Glover Field, what can they expect in the concession stand?
So we have regular hot dogs. They are grilled. We do our own grilling. We have Polish sausage that's called the Devil Dog. We provide onions and bell peppers if you want. We also have nachos, Frito pies, fried Oreos. We would have had snow cones, which is perfect for the night, but we kept blowing the circuit out, right? Some of everything, fries, chicken fingers, candy, nerd ropes, literally whatever you want, just about is on the menu, we got it.
All right, we've got a $100 gift card from Johnson's Giant Food to come to help your efforts here at the Touchdown Club concession stand. Thank you.
Yes, sir, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week here at Etowah tonight with the Etowah Touchdown Club. Don Wilson, Coach Michael Short, first time in 2026 tasting our food here. We got this homemade grilled hamburger here at Etowah, guys. Let's dig in. These guys are ready for it.
First one at 26. Absolutely, ready to go.
They're going to dig in. I see the ketchup squeezing out the side there. That's always a good sign. He just took these off the grill, as we understand it.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to talk a little bit about how good this hamburger is?
Go ahead, Coach. That is cooked to perfection right there.
It's got great seasoning to it. That's the first thing I taste. As soon as I took a bite, it exploded in my mouth there.
Just awesome stuff here. All right, so that is and cooking the fries over here behind us. One of the many great items that the Etowah Touchdown Club has here are Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week, week number 1 of the high school football season, north end zone, Jim Glover Field in Attala. Check out the Etowah Touchdown Club. And you see some of the folks working in there. They gave us a big go. Blue Devils working very hard. It was hot last night in that concession stand. These concession stands, very few of them have air conditioning. Those are all volunteers working hard in the heat last night. Big long lines at halftime there. Congratulations to the Etowah Touchdown Club, our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week for week number 1 of the high school football season. As we said, a $100 gift card from Johnson's Giant Food. They've got one just down the street from Etowah High School, right there at the intersection of Highway 77 and Highway 11 in Attala, where they can go pick up some of their supplies for the concession stand. Check them out when you go to a game this year at Jim Glover Field in Attala there in that north end zone. Let's tell you about the folks at Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance. Coach Chad Barnett. He's a coach. Coach Michael Short is on the way back from Gadsden City tonight, from that Gadsden City-Oxford game. Our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. You see, he's got 2 locations now. Judd Edwards just in the last year. Now, not only in Heflin at 842 Almond Street, but also now at 111 Court Square North in Talladega. They're in our community. They're in our communities, delivering great service, real hometown relationships, protecting your family, supporting your school. Since 2020, InsureWhatCounts.com, Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance, bringing you our Game of the Week. When we come back after the break, we got Chad Barnett, the coach, Chad Barnett returning, as we got a couple of big highlights coming. Jeff Smith, head coach of the Wellborn Panthers, on the way. Michael Short will be joining us shortly as well as we roll on to this Football Friday night. After the game, high school football, Alabama's after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
At Jack State, friendly is more than just a smile. It's a promise. One to support you in every step of your education and prepare you for everything your future holds. To be there for you on campus, online, and everywhere in between. To make a quality education an accessible one, guaranteeing you won't just join the Gamecock community, but find people here who are invested in your success. Because when you become a Gamecock, friendly lasts a lifetime.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheaha Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheaha family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheahaCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
All of our highlights this year, and we got a ton of them tonight. We got 9 games. That's 18 teams that we're bringing you highlights tonight. All of those presented by Jack State, Jacksonville State University. Let me tell you, they've got 2 fall preview days coming up. So if you got a senior, junior, sophomore in high school thinking about college, here's the dates to mark on your calendar. Tuesday, October 13th, 3 until 6:30 p.m. You can experience Jack State on a weekday and see the campus in action as it is. And then Saturday, November 7th, 2 until 5:30, you'll have preview day during one of Jack State's favorite traditions, homecoming. They would love to have you there for homecoming. So schedule that, be a part of that, and experience the friendliest campus in the South, Jacksonville State University, bringing you all of our highlights. We're glad of that, aren't we, Chad? In 2026, back on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. The coach, Chad Barnett, is here. I made him a coach
I
tonight.
coached Powder Puff. And we had a little Janet Jackson microphone sort of like this when we did. So it was way back in the day.
Chad, an interesting deal because every year of an existence of Pleasant Valley High School, they always played White Plains all the way up until 2021. But since that time, they took a 4-year hiatus for whatever reason. But that ended tonight. Good Calhoun County rivalry game. You were there between Pleasant Valley and White Plains.
You know, it's a good rivalry, but 10 years ago, I don't think anybody outside of those programs are probably really anticipating this matchup. But this year, it is completely different because you got two teams coming around, possibly setting and embarking on their best seasons of all time in their school history. That could be happening here soon in Pleasant Valley and White Plains. The two take the field tonight. Let's go out the highlights and see exactly how this one played out as Pleasant Valley and White Plains both 0-0. And tell you what, starting out with the two studs making impact immediately. Hudson Inglesby blows up the run. Braxton Salser has to go to the other side. White Plains defense was super strong to start out this game. Look at the shot by Kyron Jenkins with his stick. White Plains came out and fired up. They get the ball back in the first quarter on the first drive. They drive it down inside the red zone, but they can't convert. Cooper Dougal, beautiful pass break up there. Pleasant Valley back on offense. They would stall in the big play for White Plains. The block. It's going to be picked up, scoop, and scored by Taylor Brown. Big fella getting in the end zone, putting the White Plains Wildcats up 7-0. White Plains at this time was controlling the actual game at this point. So 7-0 White Plains. But then Pleasant Valley starts to get something rolling here. You got Caden Vick, huge pickup over the right side. There was actually a 15-yard penalty on White Plains to extend that a little bit. And then you go another big play. Nicholas Acker, he's going to get a first down for Pleasant Valley. Now they're down to the 15-yard line. They're going to be facing a fourth down, but if you got 4th and 1, who are you going to go to? You're going to go to the kid that's going to Virginia Tech because they have some motion. He cuts it right up. There's 3 defenders on him. He still fights for it, gets the first down for Pleasant Valley. Next play, he's going to call his own number, take it in for himself, put it in there for the score. 7-6 at this point. Pleasant Valley's extra point was no good. We go to the touchdown T-shirts in the stands. RO Supply got a sweet young fan, got her a shirt here earlier in the night. And Pleasant Valley would take that momentum and turn it into a big win tonight. Final score 26-7. So White Plains, they did strike first. Pleasant Valley struck last.
I'm interested, first and foremost, non-game really. What'd you think about the turf at Pleasant Valley? I've seen some pictures and videos.
It looked great.
But you were there on the turf tonight.
It looked great. I mean, it really did. There was a couple, both schools I went to, first game for them in the turf. I was actually surprised, because turf is usually really hot. I don't know, maybe they've changed some stuff, but tonight was not bad at all. Very soft turf. It looked beautiful, though.
I don't know if Pleasant Valley had this or not. I think Alexandria got this. I know Cherokee County got this a few years ago when they put theirs in. But there's I'm going to call it an additive that actually makes it a little softer. And it also is supposed to reduce the heat. I don't know if Pleasant Valley had that.
Is it like a brown flake on it?
Because
it was
some. It kind of was like a little orange slice or something like that.
Yeah, I think it
Cherokee County
could have had that. But anyway, it was not bad at all tonight. Even though the humidity was awful. Other than that, it was good.
Last night out at AHSAA, I thought the temperature was good. The humidity wasn't bad. But tonight I thought the temperature was not too bad. But the humidity up in Piedmont tonight, not very far from Pleasant Valley, was kind of off the charts. Your impressions of this Pleasant Valley team, best season in school history last year, everybody kind of thought, are they going to be a one-hit wonder? No, number 5 in the state. And this was a good White Plains team that's probably better than last year as well. So that's an impressive win in my book by Pleasant Valley tonight.
Yeah, and I walk away really impressed too with White Plains. I mean, Pleasant Valley was as advertised. They're who I thought they were, and they definitely fought back because at the beginning of the game they were getting hit. They were getting hit good, and White Plains was really moving the ball and having some control there. But Pleasant Valley showed they're a veteran team. They've been there now. They feel like they're comfortable if they are facing a deficit, because they came back really well tonight.
We travel all around the region. Chad tonight started off at Pleasant Valley, then he went to the Creek Bank at AHSAA before we get to roll in the highlights, got to ask you, they had turf. All the Calhoun County systems getting turf this year. What was your impression of the turf out at AHSAA tonight?
It's just kind of shocking. I think the biggest shock will be when I walk out to Death Valley this year.
I've already experienced that. You're going to be shocked. The little hill's gone.
And that's the nostalgia that I'm going to miss, because I put that out there, and Jordan Smith actually responded. He said, yeah, they did away with the little hill, the thing in the back corner of the end zone, because as a shooter for highlights, that's the best spot to be at Death Valley. You're in that corner, you're elevated. It's just such a great shot. That's no longer there. So a little heartbroken by that, but it's just odd. And the hill also.
We're going to see that a little bit later on.
I mean, these are 3 yards in a cloud of dust type feel. You want to see the dirt on it. So it's a little different, but it's beautiful though, for sure.
Jeff Smith's here. We're going to ask you about it.
Yeah,
he's here. He's coming in.
I'm sure he ain't got to cut nothing. So he's probably pleased.
He's still cutting grass though. He told me he's still okay. We'll talk about that. Let's move on to talking about the game tonight between AHSAA and New Hope. They played now 3 years in a row. Kind of familiar with New Hope this year, Scott Peavy.
Yeah.
Former Etowah head coach last year, former Welborn head coach. Scott Peavy returning tonight. You were at the game out at the Creek Bank between New Hope and AHSAA.
Yeah, I got some shots of Coach Peavy out there, because I know a lot of Calhoun County people know who Coach Peavy is. He's been around so many times in this area, and now he's got a New Hope squad. New Hope was at the game a few years ago. It was like in the 70s. It was AHSAA and New Hope. Was that the matchup? I think it was New Hope that they played in the 70s? Well, if it was,
the state championship?
No. A couple years ago, the first week of the season, I think it was in the 70s.
Here we go.
Going
I
back.
think we got it coming up here. There's some video.
All right. So, but here we go. We got Coach Peavy coming back to Calhoun County, and a new digs tonight with New Hope. He's got a tough little front line. The defensive line's large for New Hope, and they were able to present some problems for AHSAA. It was 16-0 when we got there tonight, and AHSAA would pick up a big play on New Hope's first drive of the second half. Going to be Toby Easterwood with a fumble recovery, and now they're going to get some mojo working. Jaden Sigler gets a first down here for AHSAA. They're driving the ball down. Now they're close to the close to the red zone. This is going to be a bonus play here for AHSAA, because they're going to say that was a horse collar on Carson Sanders. Add another 15 yards. They're going to be down inside the red zone now. And I tell you, Grady Hunter, this big fella was rumbling tonight. Huge run, gets it down to the 1 yard line. They would have 3 chances from the 1 yard line. Then they would be 4th and goal from the 9. AHSAA with another chance to put it in the end zone and get their first points of the night. But Sanders going to be tackled just short down at the 2 yard line. But AHSAA's defense would come up strong. They would use that field position in a big way. Lane Matthews with a stick and the safety. AHSAA's on board for the first time in the 2026 season. 2-0 Tribe. Now they're going to take the ensuing possession and make something happen as well. Hunter again barreling his way down to the 5 yard line. First play of the fourth quarter. Now they're going to punch it in. Here is Hunter finding his way into the end zone again. Touchdown, extra point is good. It is cut from 16-0 to 16-9 at this point. They would go on to tie the game, as you see the touchdown t-shirts there from RO Supply. They tie the game, but they would eventually fall later to New Hope. 23-16 is the final score, and what was a barn burner in a dead first half for AHSAA. They came to life in the second half.
Every time these two schools play, 2 years ago, they had that unbelievable Hail Mary pass at the end of the game, high-scoring game, national attention to that game because of the way the score was and because of the Hail Mary and all that. Then they come back again 2 years later, same two teams opening the season again, season opening game, and they go to overtime this time. But AHSAA is a team that's coming, I would say. They got a lot of 10th graders. They're still a young football team, but what we hear from AHSAA is this 10th grade class out there is special. And so this is a team, I think, Chad, that Blake Jennings' team that might make the most improvement of anybody around here from the beginning of the season to the end of the season as those 10th graders and those young guys start growing up and getting a lot of game experience.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to a couple of the guys on the sideline tonight when I first got there because I was kind of surprised to look up and see 16-0 for New Hope. But the guys on the sideline just said that they were just not playing well and, making a lot of mistakes in the first half. But this is what you get week one of football, right? Week one, a lot of mistakes, and some of those things pop up in the first week of the season. Hopefully they get a chance to correct those things and start out maybe like they did the second half this time.
They'll be a part of that. We talked about that very competitive Class 2A, Region 6. Hey, our Randy Wood, state representative out of District 36, Extra points are back this year. Here's our first one. 2026 marks the biggest change in the AHSAA in at least 42 years, if not ever. The latest round of reclassification saw the elimination of Class 7A, Class 6A, featuring the largest 32 teams in the state now, the separation and creation of 2 new private school classifications, and the debut of the state football championship games in Mobile for the first time ever in 2026. Lots of changes. We're talking Wellborn football next. The legendary head coach, Hall of Famer of the Walter Wellborn Panthers, Jeff Smith, and Coach Michael Short next on After the Game.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle and attach today.
We stand for Mother Nature. Home sweet home. The best you. Sunsets with friends. Hustle. Art that lasts. Life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. Amos & Askew CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheaha Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheaha family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit cheahacheerandtumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Well, for 35 years, Mike Askew has been a name that business owners and individuals across our area, they know that name. If they're needing accounting and tax expertise, that's a name they can know and trust. At the beginning of this year, Mike partnered with another CPA and Calhoun County native and a former White Plains quarterback, Connor Amos, to form what is now known as Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants. Great folks coming on board. They're going to be sponsoring. You're going to see it here in just a minute with Coach Smith. They are now sponsoring it'll be the Amos & Askew Region Rundown. We're going to run down all the regions tonight. So for folks that don't know who's playing where with all these classifications and things like that, 247 teams in the state playing in a different classification this year as opposed to last year. So there's a lot of folks that don't know. Before the night's over, you stick with us. We're going to show you with our region rundown, the Amos & Askew Region Rundown. So we're back on High School Football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on Football Friday night. We promised you before the break that Coach Short was back from Gadsden City. Finally tonight, Coach Short's back from that Gadsden City Oxford game, our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game of the week. We'll talk about that in depth later on. But also, the man standing right here is the head football coach of the Walter Welborn Panthers, Welborn graduate Jeff Smith. The new turf out there, we're going to talk about that with his name, Jeff Smith Field. First thing I want to do, Coach, though, is congratulate you. Go back to the spring. You going into the AHSAA High School Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that back in March.
Very humbling experience. But you know, I think I just represent a lot of different people. So.
Well, I was honored. I was the MC this year of that event, and Coach, I was just honored. The first year I've been the MC of that particular Hall of Fame, and to see your video.
You did a great job.
And to see you being well, I had great material to work with Coach Smith and. Also, Ricky Austin up at Spring Garden, Larry Strain down in Handley and Woodland, all from this area going in, but congratulations. Let's talk some football tonight, Coach. Let's start with the turf. Your impressions. We talked a lot of turf tonight.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
Folks, it's on the record right here.
Yes.
Coach Smith loves the turf. Tell us about that, and tell us about the grass cutting and how that's changed.
Well, I mean, now reality set into it this week because it was game week, and we didn't have to line it off. We didn't have to cut it, didn't have to line it off, didn't have to the day before we're out there digging for them stops out there. And it was blistering hot this week. Oh, I was so thankful. But look, the field, it can rain on it, and it drains immediately, so your field's dry. When it rains and all that moisture starts coming back up, it gets the water out of there, so you don't have that humidity coming back up. You know, the way they have built it, it's got plenty of give in it, and look, we love it, and I'm thankful we have it, and I really appreciate, you know, the Calhoun County Board of Education, you know, doing this for us, and I'm just, you know, I'm really happy to have it.
Before we get into talking about the game, Coach, now you've heard this, and I heard this. The prevalent thought was that Jeff Smith is old school. He likes the grass, that sacred hallowed ground on the hill at Welborn.
Oh, I do.
And he's gonna hate this turf. That's what everybody thought.
Well,
but you love it.
Well, yeah, I love it because I'm not out there aerating it. I'm not out there fertilizing it. Yeah, and worried about this time of year. You know, Coach, you're worried about how much ammonium nitrate you put on it because you don't want to burn it up. But you got to have it nice and green. Okay, then digging for them stobs. If you're not a coach, you don't know what I'm talking about. But there's stobs every 5 yards that you got to get out there and dig and find them, and then paint those lines and make sure they're right. And you can't do it before picture day because you don't want all them lines on there before picture day. So, and then this week would have been the week we did it.
Or B-team games. Do I cut on Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon?
That's right.
B-team game on Monday night.
Well, and you know what? You know, I helped cut the whole school grounds.
Yeah.
So last Saturday, I cut everything. And then today was game day, and I was walking up there, and it looked like I didn't even cut no grass. So how many times do you think I would have cut the game field before the night?
Yeah.
At least 3.
Here's what you don't control.
And you don't sweep that grass off the field either.
That's true, but you just sweep. Well, anyway. What you can't control is used to. I could tell if you were going to be fast or not because you'd have it cut a lot lower. Or some years it'd be higher. Yeah, don't tell me that. Now it stays the same.
Well, I'm glad. I want to say this on the record. When I was my first head coaching job was at AHSAA. Okay, and by the way, I used to blow the grass to the middle of the field and rake that.
Rake it out.
Yes. Okay. Now I was blamed for wetting the field at AHSAA all the time. Well, they put that turf field down at AHSAA. Guess what? They had to pull it back up because there was some wet spots in it. That field was never completely dry for the 6 years.
So you feel vindicated?
Yes, I'm vindicated. It took 30 years for it, but now I am. I never wet the field. And I was blamed for that all the time. That field always stays wet.
All you folks, you were wrong.
That's right.
Let's talk about the game tonight, Coach, and then I'm going to turn it over to you and Coach Shores as we get highlights and all that. One thing I know about you through the years, you grew up, you loved Calhoun County football.
Absolutely.
Back in the days when Welborn played just about everybody in the county. So opening up with Weaver, one of those teams that Welborn has played probably 30 times through the years, that's a good thing. I know that you like that. You win the game tonight over Weaver, 53-0 tonight. Impressive. Tell us about the game. Coach, y'all jump in here and talk some X's and O's. But first, your impressions of the game tonight.
Well, first I'd like to talk about our team. We have got 28 10 through 12 players.
Okay.
They're 10th, 11th, 12th, and there's 28 of them. But there's no zeros on the team. I mean, everybody that we have can contribute. And look, the majority of them went through the whole summer and didn't miss a summer workout. And that's very rare these days. And matter of fact, I even got some of them that would come and work out from 8 to 11, then come back that afternoon and do more. At Zane Hill right there, you can't work him enough. And they're very dedicated to it. They're very close. They're a close bunch of kids. They're good kids. Well, they're not kids. They're young men now. But it matters to them. And they're a fun bunch to coach. And tonight they were really wanting to get out there and play, and they went out there and played well.
Let's talk about we're going to look at some highlights. Tell us how the game went. Obviously, you were in control of this thing from beginning to end. You scored 50 points. There's some highlights here we're going to show. Look at that Jeff Smith field. That looks good there. Nice. You go down the sideline there on the home sideline. Obviously, you got to be pleased when you score 50 points and you give up none. Coach, that's a good night.
Well, it is, and again, I'm proud of our players and how we played in the game, and you know, their effort was so good. You see right there the Marion Tippins come off that block and made that good tackle, and you know, again, they're showing that again right there. That's rough.
There we go.
There we go right there.
And that's Logan Brooks, young guy, head coach, coming from South Alabama, head coach there at the Weaver Bearcats. Now we're getting into the Jeff Smith field here and that green grass.
Look how good that field looks.
Man, you did well, Coach. You really worked on the fertilizer.
No, I know it right there. Look, and our players are getting after it blocking wise, and you know, our offensive line. I can't say enough good things about them, but you know, offensively we've got 10 out of 11 starters back on offense and 10 out of 11 back on defense too. Wow. So that's helped us a lot, yes.
Touchdown T-shirts going out there.
That's Juan Hernandez there that was in the picture there. He plays our 3 technique for us, and he's strong as an ox. Right here, they got a good player here, but you see the effort right there that Caden Horton did to run down and drag him down one arm. Again, this player here that they have plays receiver for them and running back now, but he was their quarterback last year. This is a first-year quarterback they got, but we're swarming pretty good on defense at this time here.
Yeah, that's a good gang tackle.
You know,
that's well-run football there.
Well, I tell you what, that Lincoln Smith's. I'm so proud of him. From the 7th grade to now, he has improved so much. I'm just very, very proud of him. Right here, our quarterback Braden Horton. I tell you, he's special, and you're gonna hear about him now. He makes a lot of plays, and I tell you, he's got a tremendous upside. Maurice Traylor, Maurice's granddaddy and I were great friends in school, and Maurice is a really good player. And you know, and if you see them like here on the kickoff, they like going down covering kickoffs. You know, we had several plays on the kickoff team and had a couple of turnovers off of it. Again, there's Braden Horton, our quarterback, and he's cutting that ball across the field. And look, I've been watching him. He's got a twin brother, Caden, and I've been watching those two boys play probably since they was 5 years old. That's Coach Brooks right there. And this is right here. That's his twin brother, Caden, right there. He's a good player too now. He plays linebacker, and there's Zane Hill. Zane Hill, again, you cannot work Zane hard enough. He's just got tremendous work ethic. Here we had right there was Zach Page. He knocked the ball down, and there's Zane again making a good run. Again, and they're strong, and they've worked hard this offseason.
Lots of touchdowns tonight, Coach. We're seeing a lot of those right here.
It is, but you know what I'm most proud about is the shutout. You know, I was really proud that how they did and had a shutout tonight. But now we were that quarterback. Look at that catch right there on that interception. What a play that was, man. And right there, that was a great catch that Jackson Clark made right there. And his hamstring's been a little sore on him, but man, he made a great catch right then.
You've seen this for the first time, aren't you?
First time. See, I haven't got to watch the film yet. They're back there grading it now. That's Zachary Page made a good catch right there, I'm going to have to get him on that. But anyway, the double knee move he made right there. But
Coach Short, you step on in. And,
Yeah.
a lot of highlights there. By the way, I will say this, that Welborn alumnus Namath Pitts shot all those highlights.
He did.
High school football Alabama's after the game, Namath Pitts. Pitts Pick'em's coming up on Wednesdays.
I got to tell one on Namath.
Tell it.
So our junior high, when we have our junior high spring, I separate them into the black and white game. And I don't know what team he was on and everything, but at the halftime of their game, his team was winning. He was a quarterback for that team. And we were coming off the field, and Namath looked at me and says, Coach, they said if I was their quarterback that we would lose, and we're winning. And he was running off the field right there. But on Namath, I tell you, you talk about a spirit. He's got a great spirit about him.
Coach Short, what did you watched that video too for the first time? What did you see in that video there?
Well, you know, as a former coach, the things that first things I watch is, do your running backs high and tight? They got the ball wrapped up, which they did.
Yeah.
How well you tackle, and then the physicality. And then there's coaches. Everybody talks about being physical. That's a coach's term.
That's right.
But then I always felt like we at Cleveland County were physical. But then but there's Welborn physical.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about just those kids from Welborn, because you know there's something special about them. I married a girl from Welborn, and there's just something out there, and I don't know if it's in the water or what.
Well, I think it's expected of you.
Yes.
If you put that black helmet on in that black jersey and you walk up there on the hill and you're going to play right there, you're expected to be physical. If you're not, you probably don't need to be playing. I mean, that's the way everybody is, and most of the Welborn fans, especially the older Welborn fans, would just as soon see the big lick as they would the touchdown.
Yes.
They come to the games to see the big lick, and if they don't see it, then they're unhappy with it.
One thing and the other thing I noticed is early in the season. Of course, you know that a lot of times games are a lot longer because of the heat timeouts early, and it makes it last longer. But the first thing I noticed is I want to watch that kicking game, because that can turn a game.
Man,
like tonight, for example, at Oxford, they returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and it just completely changed the game.
Jacksonville did the same thing against Piedmont, opening kickoff for a touchdown.
So I've always said, guys, the most important thing for us on game one is to make sure our kicking game is sound.
Absolutely.
Because it can turn a game early in the season.
And we talked to our players about that 2 weeks ago. That we really started focusing a lot more on our kicking game, and we try to hit 3 phases of it each practice.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right, especially early in the season. Well, here's the deal: early in the season, it's going to make a big difference. In a tight game, it's going to make a big difference. How many tight games have you coached in that came down to a field goal or a punt return,
a block?
And look, I tell you this too. Like me and you were brought up. Now, the punt team is not a negative thing.
No.
The punt team is field position.
Exactly.
And you better be good on your punt team so you can flip the field position right there and play some defense. Whereas I think the new age, they don't the punt's just a failure. Well, I mean, punt's strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Coach Saban who said every possession needs to end in a kick.
That's right.
Either a punt, field goal, extra point.
That's right. That's right.
Let's talk about your region now, Coach. We're going to show this here graphically for you. We're going to talk about 2A Region 6, your region, and also 2A Region 4. Have to back off just a little bit here. We'll get everybody situated. But this is your region. These are the updated region standings. Of course, no region games. I'll go all the way over here. No region games have been played. That's still for another couple of weeks. Here are the overall records. Right now, the teams that won were Gaston, Pleasant Valley, and your team, Welborn. Sachs had an open day.
Well, now Southeastern's not in.
I don't know where Southeastern came
they're
from.
not in there.
But anyway, that may be my fault. That is Vincent West End, and so I think that should be Ohatchee.
That's right.
That should be Ohatchee. We'll fix that. Coach, just when we moved down, a lot of schools moved down this year. You were one of those schools that moved down.
Well,
Sachs moved down for the first time ever. Piedmont moved down. So Ohatchee moved down. So that's Ohatchee. So you're just overall impressions of this region.
Well, 3A Region 6, that's what I was counting right then. At one time was Pleasant Valley, Welborn, Sachs, Piedmont, and Ohatchee. And I don't remember the other teams that were in it. But really, so those 5 of the 2A Region 6 teams that were in 3A Region 6 at one time.
Yeah.
And we just moved down. Now, at one time, This is back when my oldest son was playing quarterback for us. Vincent was in our region. That was a region game for us. And then we had played Gaston in a non-region games, I think, back when he was playing.
I think Dalton's Cruz was playing back then.
Yeah,
Y'all went to Gaston.
Yeah, Dalton was. And then West, I don't know if we had played West End. We played West End back when in Ohatchee days when I was the head coach at Ohatchee, but we have not played them since I've been at Welborn. But the rest of them we've all played.
Let's go look at the other 2A region. Here's the difference now. Region 6, that's going to be North Alabama, okay? 2A Region 4, even though we got some local teams like Ranburne and B.B. Comer and Randolph County, those are going to be in the South. And there's some teams you're very familiar with here because you got Ranburne, you got B.B. Comer, you got Randolph County, Lynette, who was in the state championship game last year. Reeltown, seems like every other year they go to the championship. Central Coosa, I saw them in 7-on-7 this year. They're very good. Dadeville has got everybody back. They're better. And really, Randolph County, that was a surprise to that they lost to Woodland 28-14. But your kind of thoughts on this region?
Well, five of those teams, we were in a region with them at one time. Because at Welborn, we've been, and Cleveland County had the same thing. We would either be in the north or we'd be in the south. And when we were in the south, Randolph County, B.B. Comer, Ranburne, Dadeville, and Coosa Central was in our region at one time. No, I don't think Coosa Central was. I think we played them non-region. But I know Randolph County, B.B. Comer, Ranburne, and Dadeville was. And, you know, like Coach will tell you, when you're in the south, we're going to make some trips. Yeah. But when we were in the north, we were playing more of our local teams, which we're playing right now.
Coach, before I let you get out of here, just as you look to the future, as you look to, there's an old saying that you improve more from week 1 to week 2. You go over to play Woodland next week, who beat that Randolph County team 28-14. First time they've won in 12, 13 years against Randolph County.
That's one thing, too. We was talking about Welborn, what's expected to you about being physical and everything. What you also got to expect at Welborn, you're going to play a tough schedule. Because I don't know, I can, as a kid, as a player, as a coach, well, I don't think we've ever had an easy schedule. It's always been pretty tough, week in and week out.
And that's what the people in Welborn expect.
Yeah, it is.
That's what they expect.
It is. But, but now I think a lot of that's got to do with the area we're in.
That's right.
Because, in this area, and I keep saying that, as far as 2, 3, 4A football, it ain't no better. Right. Nowhere else. This is it. Okay, and a lot of times we beat each other up so that we don't have a state champion. But a lot of times the state championship's going to run through us. That's for sure.
3A region, sometimes it was Region 5, sometimes it was Region 6. The semifinal game was a rematch. You rematched with Piedmont one time. Randolph County was in there in a rematch. Yeah. Sachs was in a rematch with Piedmont one time. Glencoe was in the semis, on down through the line. So you're right, that tough schedule.
Well, not only is there good players, but it's always been well coached.
Oh, yes.
Well,
very good coaches.
Here's the thing that you have to do at a school our size now, which to me is the most difficult thing. Me and Coach talked about this, is to keep the players' edge, keep them physical and keep them with an edge, but keep them healthy. And that is hard to do.
Big.
It is hard to do.
Big in 2A football.
Yes. You want them to stay physical and get after it, but on the same token, you don't want to beat them to death in practice so they don't have nothing in the game. And that's a hard thing. You're walking a tightrope to do that.
Coach, thank you for being with us tonight here on our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. Our guest tonight, head coach of the Walter Welborn Panthers, Coach Jeff Smith. They win tonight, winners over the Weaver Bearcats, 53-0 out on the hill at Jeff Smith Field at Welborn Stadium on the hill at Walter Welborn. Let's tell you about Red Threads. We're going to breaks, and we have our Red Threads, what we call the Stay Put Preview Box. We show you, I don't know what we show you, because I don't know what's been, it's probably amazing what you see out there. I haven't had a glass of sweet tea tonight. That's amazing. It's almost midnight, and I haven't had sweet tea tonight. Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, officially licensed JSU apparel, local high school teamwear. Go by their store. They're on the square in Jackson. We're going to a Jack State game. Anytime you're up at Jack State on campus, see them on the square. They've got the best selection of Jack State merchandise you'll find anywhere at their Red Thread store on the square in Jacksonville. Tons of highlights still to come as we roll on this Football Friday night. High school football Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle in a Ted's today.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you. Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At AHSAA Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. AHSAA CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheaha Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheaha family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit cheahacheerandtumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Core Sports, we're going to select from, and it's going to be hard tonight. We're going to select our Core Sports Play of the Night at the end of the season, our Core Sports Play of the Year. We have got a lot of candidates tonight. Let's tell you about the folks at Core Sports serving local schools, local area high schools. They're conveniently located 1419 Hamrick Drive East in Oxford. Your one-stop shop from injury prevention to advanced surgery and rehab. Core Sports Medicine is your full-service orthopedic and sports medicine partner right here in Oxford, Alabama. Core Sports bringing you the game, the play of the night and the play of the year. Jon Holder back with you. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett. I made him a coach earlier tonight, Coach, in case you missed that.
That team's going 0-10. That's a terrible
We're
team.
presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We got some highlights for you here. We're kind of just, to be honest with you, a shocker here that Paul Benefield and Danny Horn would get into a defensive struggle, especially early on tonight down at Volunteer Stadium in Lineville. But we're going to show Chad the highlights early on from the game. They had a lightning delay.
Yeah.
That prevented us getting a lot of the highlights toward the end. They had a 30-minute lightning delay down there with all the storms down south. So it was all defense early on in this game that turned crazy toward the end of the game.
And I tell you, everybody was really looking forward to this one because the titanic matchup of the head coaches. You know, you got the first number one all-time in the state against the number two all-time in the state. A couple of legends here.
There they are. There's a money shot.
Two of the best that ever did it in the state of Alabama. Danny Horn's final season. All these storylines are building up down in Clay Central. You know, we we're hoping for something good. It was a great game, but when we were there, a lot of defensive plays. But what I did notice, though, is there always a 22 for Fife in the backfield? There's always a number 22 back there that's doing some big things. Ryder Gibson this year is the one. But, Fife tried to get a lot of stuff going early, but Clay Central's defense was stout to be expected. Clay Central got some of the same taste as well. Whenever they had the ball, Fife was all over them. So big defensive battle back and forth in this one.
Well, just from watching real quick, of course, you didn't see a whole lot of highlights, but I've talked to both coaches, know them well. The biggest thing that probably happened for that game was the delay. And it allowed both coaches to go back and say, all right, offensively we can do this, defensively we can do that. And that was evident because look what the final score was. And a lot of scoring went on. It was 14-0 Central Clay at one time.
It was 14-0. You see those storm clouds right there. 14-0 in the fourth quarter. There's the final score, though. This game goes to overtime, tied at 14. Fife comes from down 14-0. They beat Central Clay County 21-25, the number 2 team in 2A. Clay Central, the number 3 team in 4A. That was an incredible turn of events because it looked like that, especially defensively, Clay Central had this game in hand, and then in the fourth quarter. But hey, Fife, this ain't their first rodeo.
No, it's not.
And so, what was the state championship game where they came from way behind down in Auburn?
Yeah, it was in Auburn.
And I think they were playing, who were they playing? Montgomery Catholic. Montgomery Catholic, and came from behind to win that one.
I think all the prognosticators, so many people that were doing their picks this week too, everybody seemed to have Clay Central. that were Central Clay. That was kind of the pick that was hot this week.
Yeah, because it's
thinking the
larger size,
school.
larger school. Mm-hmm. But the whole makeup of the game, and it was late, put together real late, and then being able to make it happen. But you're talking about Central Clay County in one of those years where they may not be can throw it a lot. They're going to get in there, compressed in there in the wishbone, probably learn a lot of wishbone, which serves well for Fife to get into a dogfight right there in the middle. And, here I'm going to give credit to Coach Horn. They're down. It was 21-14 in overtime because Fife scored, made it 21. And Central Clay scores, and they went for 2 to win it, and they're 6 inches short. So it takes a lot of guts right there, But it really didn't because his kicker had already missed 1 extra point. So that after they miss one, at home, a lot of times if you're going to go for 2, do it at home and go ahead and finish it up. But a lot of guts to Coach Horn there for being able to go for the win. That's what he does.
Non-region game too, it gives them a little bit of leeway there to take that gamble a little bit.
Don't count that bunch out.
Yeah. Don't count them out. And I'll tell you something too. Don't count out the Piedmont Bulldogs that really lost to Jackson. We're going to see highlights that I was at that game tonight. It's still, I think, and this really solidifies the thinking that maybe the top 2 teams in the North and 2A are Fife and Piedmont. I know Piedmont had a tough loss tonight, but that win by Fife, you go into Volunteer Stadium and beat Danny Horn, I still believe, I think it'll be that Fife and Piedmont are going to be really heard from in this 2A North before it's all said.
I can't imagine Piedmont, with as much as they have returning, to not be in it at the end of the year.
They will. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in that game, but they are tonight. It was a great 2A playing what I think is a great 4A.
Yeah. Neither one of them. They played the type of people they need to play. They will not see, unless it's their non-region games, they will not see the speed or the physicality of what they saw tonight in their region game.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears here. Last night, Coach Short and myself over at Jim Glover Field in Attala, fought a first in this game. For the first time ever, Cleveland County and Etowah playing in football. They're only 40, 45 miles apart. All the tradition, just can't imagine if they haven't played before. Then also another thing, first time since the 6-class system, Cleveland County, 3A. First time ever since the 6-class system, Etowah, 3A. So, again, we talked about all these changes and things like that. Interesting game last night at Jim Glover Field between Blue Bloods, I think.
Yeah.
Etowah and Cleveland County.
And the cool thing about it, too, is Vaughn Lee, head coach, has got them heading in the right direction. Everybody's thinking this year is likely going to be their first chance to get to the playoffs since 2023. They started off well last night getting on that road. So as you see Etowah coming out in the black jerseys, kind of an odd thing to see. They got the Attala on the back, too. I think that's the first time ever for that. but Cleveland County would come out looking really good. Jalen Baker completes a pass to Karsten Williams for 14 yards and a first down. Next play, Baker is going to go deep. He's going to find Williams again. This time it's a 51-yard touchdown. Cleveland County would miss the extra point, but they're going to take the 6-0 lead at Jim Glover Field. There you see the Etowah cheerleaders as they're hoping their team will get a little spark and come back. Nick Cannon tries to get to the passing game for the Blue Devils, but he's going to be picked off by Silas Hunt. Nice play by number 6 for the Cleveland County Tigers. That takes us to the break intermission. 6-0, still the lead. Cleveland County is on top. Tigers would receive the second half kickoff, and they're going to pick up right where they left off. Handoff, Randall Brown, 9 yards, going to give the Tigers a first fresh set of downs. Avery Robinson comes in at QB, completes a pass to Elijah Ware for another first down. Etowah huddling up, trying to stop the Tigers from scoring on this drive. But Baker, he's going to connect with Cade Schubert on a 4th and 21. 29-yard touchdown pass. Massive play for the Cleveland County Tigers. Are up 14-0 after the 2-point conversion. Good. Blue Devils just to not get any momentum going. The Tigers' air attack could not be stopped. Baker throwing a perfect ball to Lyric Ware for another 88-yard touchdown pass in the flux capacitor. 88 miles an hour. No. Cleveland County 21-0. Coach Vaughn Lee has a little excitement tonight as they are playing very well. Interception now by Kobe Hale would seal the deal for the Cleveland County Tigers as they go on to shut out Etowah last night. Impressive. 21-0 is the final score by Cleveland County.
Yeah, we're going.
And I'm all walking over to that.
Yeah,
it's the new digs. We're trying to get used to.
As you're going to see in the interview that's coming up, I made that. You covered up Cleveland County winning, and I had a massive misspeak last night at the end of this.
I didn't hear.
And the Cleveland County players and the cheerleaders, they were getting mad at me. They were turning around going,
they were paying attention.
What are you talking about?
They were paying attention.
So I think we got that post-game interview. Let's go out to Jim Glover Field. We don't have it. We don't have that? Okay. All right. So
we did.
I thought we had the post-game interview. But anyway, we talked about play. If we can get that interview, that'd be great. The thing about last night, I think this is a 6-0 anybody's game. Mm-hmm. Cleveland County comes out to run the football the second half, and Coach can talk about this a little bit here as well. But 4th down and 21 at the Etowah 29, they go for it, throw for the end zone, touchdown, and that was, in my mind, the play of the game. Might be a play of the night, so to speak. It was such a massive dagger to Etowah. Then the 2-point conversion on top of that made it 14-0. Coach, that to me was what spun the game totally to Cleveland County's favor.
It was. They come out in the second half, and you knew they were going to try to establish running the football. They've got one offensive lineman back from last year, so all the other ones are non-starters. One is never played center in his life, and he's starting at center now. They got a drive and put it together. There was a penalty that kept that drive alive, but they were able to go down and score and use about 7 minutes off the clock, and that was big for them. And like you said, the touchdown pass, but it was also set up because it was thrown earlier and it was underthrown, and they knew they was going to try to come back, and it's about matchups with a 6'4" Schubert out there as a wide receiver. They felt like he had a good matchup there, and they were going to throw a 50-50 ball up and see if they could catch it, and that's what he came down with a great catch. It's not as much on there, but it was a heck of a catch. You're out there on the field, and you see how tightly contested it was. And to me, it probably turned the ball game around because defensively they played pretty solid. They had you had 2 interceptions, had a couple of chances for fumbles that they didn't get, and then I think they ended up with about 8 sacks. So defensively they played pretty solid.
And show how early in the game important things are, especially early in the season. This could have very easily been 14-7 Etowah. Etowah had, on the first play of the game, play action pass, and they had a guy 20 yards behind the closest guy from Cleveland County, and he overthrew him by 10 yards. It's an easy touchdown. Then they had an interception right in the Etowah defender's hands. He would have walked into the end zone. That was 14 points that Etowah could have had in the first quarter. And Cleveland County, they had an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown. A block in the back brought that back. So there are a lot of early mistakes. But the key last night, Coach, I think, was Etowah kept making mistakes the whole game. After the first quarter, Cleveland County cut the mistakes for the most part out. And I think the penalty situation and the mistakes Etowah just kind of kept making them. Cleveland County didn't.
Well, let me give the coaching side of that from experience. Early in the season, when you're playing those ball games, and a lot of times you have a lot of penalties, sometimes turnovers, but a lot of that comes from conditioning. So if you notice, not one time did you see a kid from Cleveland County last night go down with a cramp. And as you get into the ball game, you start having those mental errors because you're tired. Mm-hmm. Well, they picked up a pace and weren't as tired because last week was horrendous as far as heat is concerned, and rain and that kind of stuff. So it was I think the conditioning had a lot to do with the way they were able to finish the game and the way that they didn't have those mental mistakes that you normally would have. And Etowah's they're going to be fine in their region. It was a good way for Cleveland County to start out, but Etowah's going to be fine. They're a team that's going to be able to reckon with here in the future.
They are. They've got a lot of athletes, very talented. The quarterback's going to get better. He had a tough night last night. He was under duress a lot of days, you pointed out. 8 sacks, something like that by Heflin. But in their region, that is a region where Etowah can and should be a playoff team.
You should.
And I think Cleveland County, people looked at me like I was crazy. I think this is a Cleveland County team that can win a lot of football games this year. I think in their region, they got West Point next week at home. I think they're probably maybe the favorite in that game going in. And you start looking at their schedule there, and Cleveland County's got a chance in every game coming up the rest of the way to make some noise and win a lot of football games.
I think you and I talked this summer that there's a game early in the season that is going to determine basically if they're going to be home or it's going to be one of those things like we feel pretty confident they're going to make the playoffs. Are they going to be home or are they going to be on the road? That's the question at this point. I think there's an early game. Yeah.
It's all about West Point.
Yeah.
Right now.
Speaking of which, let's look at these 3A regions. We got those. And so, again, we're going to go back to our Amos and Askew region rundown, and we're going to look at these 3A regions, including the region that Etowah's in and the region that Cleveland County's in. Again, this is a north-south split again, so we're going to be, I think we got that regions, or no, we don't? There. It's on its way. All right, so we'll
Well, I will say this about that region that Cleveland County's in. There are some teams that I think people before the season had already they lost a lot of seniors last year. They won't be as good. I'm sitting there looking right now. It's a toss-up between every one of them. So I think there's 4 or 5 legitimate teams that could have a chance to get in the playoffs. And like you said, there's some early games. You got to win them all. If you think back to 14 and 15 when we played Sachs early in the season, but it ended up being a region championship game that early in the season. So you got to play every region game like it's going to be.
Guys, I think I remember that game. Back out and look at this. We'll start with 3A Region 4, and again, like we talked with Coach Smith about, there's a split. The 2A regions that are in our region. One's in North Alabama, one's in South Alabama. It's the same way in Class 3A Region 4. These teams are going to compete in the South. So you got Asheville, you got Childersburg. Asheville, by the way, won tonight. They are 1-0. They did win tonight. They beat Springville 19-18. Childersburg won last night. Cleveland County won. Handley had an open date. Munford had an open date. Talladega lost. And then you got Weaver and White Plains. Weaver lost and White Plains lost. But as you can see here, this is a totally different kind of thing than Cleveland County has played in. They've got some familiar teams like Handley, like Munford and Talladega and people like that, White Plains. But, you got Childersburg, a new team in there. You got Weaver, who they haven't played in a while. But this is, you start looking at this right here, this is going to be, I thought when the reclassification came out, guys, that this was going to be a very competitive region.
Yeah.
Handley probably a little bit above everybody else, a team that very nearly could have beaten Jackson last year, and they're very good this year. But apart from Handley, you start looking after that, guys, this is going to be a really good competitive region.
Well, I think the biggest surprise so far week 1, Talladega playing a pretty established Lincoln team who's in higher classification, who is, I thought they played him really well last night. So, Talladega kind of surprised me a little bit there, too, with their, 7-point loss last night to a Lincoln squad that, like I said, has some senior leadership. That was kind of surprising.
The Talladega-Lincoln game last night, Talladega returns a kickoff for a touchdown, and Lincoln returns a kickoff for a touchdown, back-to-back. Again, I said early in the season when you start playing these type of games, kicking game is so important this type of year. But I mean, everybody there, from White Plains on up, people say, White Plains got beat Pleasant Valley. Well, excuse me, Pleasant Valley can beat a lot of teams right now.
That ain't your mama's Pleasant Valley. No.
So it's going to be a competitive region. It's going to be a fun region because every week is going to be a barn burner. It's going to mean something. And, you know, everybody better get as good as they can in these non-region games and try to get better and better because it's going to start out in 2 weeks. Region play starts.
Overall, we'll update this, but Weaver 0-1, White Plains 0-1, Munford had an open date.
Was Hamlin a jamboree? Was that a jamboree tonight with Valley?
That's a jamboree.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it was a jamboree. They both had 9 games, and they both had. I don't know.
So they could have made it count, but they didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they did.
I'm not sure. Cleveland County 1-0, Childersburg 1-0. Asheville also 1-0 after that win over Springville tonight by a single point, 19-18. So we continue with our Amos and Askew region rundown. We go to 3A Region 6, and that's the region we were just talking about with Etowah in it. Etowah 0-1. We'll tell you this is the region. Let's update it. Glencoe won tonight. They're 1-0. Hansville lost. Hoax Bluff had an open date. Not sure about Holly Pond. Aniana, I think, lost. They come back and beat Pleasant Grove tonight. Yes. Holly Pond did win. Susan Moore, they lost big tonight, and I think Vinemont won. So again, we're going to see some. There's some updates right there. We got some Hoax Bluff and Glencoe and Etowah, some local teams. The rest of these teams are really outside of our area. The buzz, guys, in the offseason has been that Aniana is going to be very much improved. They brought an assistant coach in, new coach from Clay Chalkville, and they're very talented, as we understand. They're going to be maybe one of the most improved teams in the state. But you can see here, again, just like the region we talked about with Cleveland County and Munford and Talladega and Weaver and all those, this is going to be a really competitive region, I think. Yeah. And I think our local teams, I'll make a bold prediction. I think our local teams, Glencoe, Hoax Bluff, and Etowah, I think they will be 3 of the 4 that will be in the playoffs. That's my prediction.
Be good for us if that happens like that. But again, we have the region rundown early, but you give me 2 or 3 games and we start playing region games, you can really start dialing in on, who's player because of the way society is now, and we've got so many players moving from place to place. I'm just trying to figure out where everybody's at. Oh, that kid! Oh no, he's not there anymore. So it takes a week or 2 for me to dial in on who's.
The music
be
just
good.
Stopped and everybody got a chair last week. So
yes, that's right.
Gotta figure that out.
That's a great analogy, Chad. It really is a good one. I think we got that interview now, and you'll see at the end of this interview me making one of the biggest misspeaks I have ever made.
Or a blooper? Can you call it a blooper?
It was more than a blunder. And I didn't even realize I made it until the players started going, whoa, what are you talking about? Let's take out the Jim Glover Field in Attala for our post-game interview after Cleveland County's, I'm saying it, Cleveland County's 21-0 win over Etowah. Let's take you out there. Jim Glover Field in Attala on a hot and humid Thursday night to open the 2026 high school football season. Cleveland County wins over Etowah tonight. First ever meeting between the Tigers and the Blue Devils. 21-0 the final score. Coach Vaughn Lee's with us. Coach, Thursday nights, over the last 2 years, Cleveland County is undefeated on Thursday nights, 4-0. All 4 of those have been on the road as well. What's the kind of the secret sauce here to Thursday night football in Heflin?
Well, we come in, we bring our defense in on Sundays, and they start getting ready a day ahead of time. They went out and you could tell tonight the shutout, defensively, they carried us, and they put a lot of work in on Sunday to get us on schedule. Our guys were tough this week. There's a lot of heat. We fought through a lot of that. We won this game throughout the week. We didn't play very well. We played awful at times, but I think our toughness we've developed helped get us through this game, and I feel like Thursday night, I don't like it, but we've learned to handle it, and now we get an extra day off, but we had to work a little extra to get here.
Coach, in the first half, you go in at 6-0. You come out the second half and you get the first possession, and you ran the football. I'm thinking that was by design, that we're just going to line up and run it and be physical. Was that kind of the ideal in that first drive of the third quarter?
That's who we want to be. We have some explosive playmakers and explosive quarterback, but we got to make sure we can run the football. And I feel like there was a time when we weren't able to run the football, and I was pretty upset about that at times. But we're going to establish the running game. We're going to get better at running the football. But we did at times run the ball well, yes.
6-0 at halftime. We mentioned that drive in the third quarter, and it came down to what I felt like was probably the play of the game. It's 4th down and 21 at the Etowah 29. You go for it, and it results in a touchdown. So let's talk to the two guys who were involved in that play. First, our quarterback here, Jalen Baker, and you had a big night tonight. 7 of 14, 188 yards, 3 long touchdown passes, and a 2-point conversion pass. Tell us about those long passes tonight, and especially the touchdown pass that really stretched it from 6 to 14 to nothing.
My guys, we practice this every day. We all got good chemistry, and we already know what to do. We've been counting this down for a long time, so it's not when we come out here and play.
All right, big night from him. Right behind me here, we're going to bring in, he came in, snuck in beside me here. Cade Schubert, wide receiver, you're on the other end of that big pass play. So it's 4th down and 21. Really got nothing to lose here at their 29. He threw a perfect pass, but you made a great catch. Tell us about the play without giving out too much secrets to folks that might be watching from other teams, but tell us about that play and how it developed.
We just saw a matchup that we liked, and we went to it earlier in the game and we didn't execute, so we knew that it was a good position. It was a good play to go back and run it again, and we liked our matchup, and Jalen threw a good ball, and I just went and got it.
On the sideline, what did that play do, going from, especially the way it happened on 4th down, going from 6-0, stretching out to 14-0, the way your defense had been playing? What did that do on the sidelines?
I mean, our defense played lights out all night, but our offense, we came out slow and we came out dead, but I felt like that explosive play brought some energy to the offense and on the sideline and everything, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the second half, where we had more explosive plays and we held the ball for longer and really set the tone offensively.
All right, another win on a Thursday night on the road for Cleburne County. What else is new? They open up the 2026 season. Very impressive win. Jim Glover Field in Attala. Etowah beats Cleburne County 21-0. Whoa, no, excuse me. Whoa, I said it wrong. Oh, Cleburne County. Oh, thank you for correcting me. Cleburne County beats Etowah tonight at Jim Glover Field in Attala. 21-0. Now go. Is it Heflin a lot?
Maybe not anymore.
Well, no, I think they're forgiving bunch. They understand, but they'll never let me forget that. As every time I go to WM Grocery or anywhere over in Heflin, down on Main Street, I'm sure that everybody in Heflin's never going to let me forget that. I didn't even realize I said it, but they did. So there we go.
Marie's barbecue's gonna boo him.
Yeah.
Yep. They may not even feed him. May not even feed him.
All right, Cleburne County beats Etowah 21-0. I'll say it again. Cleburne County beats Etowah 21-0. We'll be back with more of After the Game on a Football Friday Night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
At Jack State, we know what it takes to be ready. Ready is reps. Ready is research. Ready is resilience. Ready is right now. Because opportunity doesn't wait. And neither do we. Don't just show up. Show up ready. Jacksonville State University, where ready begins.
I love getting to work with Noble Bank. They hold the same values that I do personally and our company.
It's like working with a big bank, but with a small town feel. You get to deal with the banker directly when you need anything at any time.
It's crucial for small businesses to have an independent bank because we don't always fit in a box.
It is such a special feeling to be able to walk into a place where literally everyone knows your name.
Anytime I'm out talking about banking, I'm always quick to recommend Noble Bank. They always get everything done just the way I need it done.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle in the Ted's today.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Why do people love Whataburger? Well, we could give you the reasons. But the reasons ain't the same as tasting 100% fresh American beef. Plus more bold toppings and sauces than my cousin Franny's got excuses for missing work. But really, it's just hospitality, the family kind. Just ask Aunt Marla. She's a character. What a burger. Come one, come y'all.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Johnson's Giant Food, 6 locations to serve you across East Alabama. They're in Gadsden, East Gadsden, Attala. They're now in Southside on Highway 77. They're in Coldwater. They're in Jacksonville. They're bringing you our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. You saw that earlier with the Etowah Touchdown Club. Whether it's Friday night football, college football, Saturdays, go crank up here in a couple of weeks. If you're too busy to cook, no problem. Johnson's Giant Foods, their hot bar and deli has your answer. Chicken fingers, wings, potato wedges. They got the quick grabs, the chicken and potato salad, panini cheese, crackers, chips, cookies, drinks, everything that you need at Johnson's Giant Food. Bringing you, once again, our Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. And also, one of our concession stands, as Coach Shortnose, will be our concession stand of the year at the end of the year. Pretty good hamburger last night over at Etowah.
Yes,
Going to bring Coach Michael Short here. By the way, we want to say, look at this new set we have. We're coming to you from the Sound Solutions Media Center. We're on Highway 78 West in Oxford. Beautiful facility. Joey Hutto, Jordan Smith, the staff here putting this together, making us feel welcome. Great place, and it has been a phenomenal first Friday night. So we're glad to be here. Thank them for welcoming us into high school football Alabama's after the game. As you can see, there's a lot of things. You can see new microphones. You can see our new set. All these kind of things, and some other things we haven't even unveiled yet. Coach, we're going to go and look at some more regions. It's time for our Amos and Askew region rundown, and we're going to go to the smaller schools this time. A new classification that we've never had before on our Amos and Askew Certified Public Accountants. So, Private Region 3. We had Coach Chris Stone in earlier talking about this, and we showed this a little bit, talked about this a little bit. They've already played a region game. That Hope and Donahoe game was a region game, so Hope's already out to a 1-0 start, Donahoe 0-1. But, Coach, I talked with Coach Stone about this. You look at this, Elwood, Holy Spirit, Donahoe, Pickens Academy, Victory Christian. Hope's going to have a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, and I've seen them in some 7-on-7 events this summer. I saw them at Cherokee County versus Jacksonville, and it was right down to the wire. So they're skill players. I haven't seen their offensive linemen or defensive linemen, but they're skill players as good as anybody on both sides of the ball.
Look at the travel here. Our 3 local teams, Hope in Oxford, Donahoe and Anniston, Victory over in Pell City. I think I've went to Elwood, but Donahoe. But then, listen, you got, this is in Selma. This is in Tuscaloosa. This is over in Carrollton in Pickens County, almost in Mississippi. It was, and then you got Tuscaloosa Academy. I don't see them there. Tuscaloosa Academy should be there, but they're also in this region. Well, obviously they're in Tuscaloosa, so they should be there also. They're probably the favorite going in to win. But, Coach, from what I have seen so far, I think the Tuscaloosa Academy Hope game might be a region championship, even though, look, Victory Christian tonight, 43-21, they beat Raglan at Raglan. Matt Griffith's a good football coach.
Yes, he is.
And they're going to be heard from in this region, too.
Yeah, because by watching some issue, just like Victory, they have I guess a broad view that they can pull people from, that people are coming there. So you don't really, until you get to watch them, you don't know what kind of athletes they may have. And like I said, Coach does a great job of coaching football. But I just can't get over the amount of travel that some of these people have got to make. And you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to train your kids to go on the road and make those long. It's really like having a playoff game every week when you're driving across the state. And that's going to take money, and they're going to have to be very creative in raising money. But Hope Christian's skill players are as good as anybody on there. But this one right here,
Tuscaloosa Academy,
been
very good the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, they walked in there and got beat by the state champion Coosa, and it was like a 17-0 in a rainstorm. And I think people may know that the guy's the head coach at West Alabama, who used to be at Alabama. His son was playing there. I don't remember if he was a senior last year. I think he may have been a junior, but he was a linebacker. I'm not for sure, but yeah.
And these guys caught a break because when Autauga Academy decided in July to go back to the AHSAA, Autauga Academy was in Prattville.
Yes.
So you would have had a Prattville trip added in. We continue with our Amos and Askew Certified Public Accountants Region Rundown. We go to Class A Private Region 4 now. And a lot of these schools you probably haven't heard of. We only have 2 local teams here. Westbrook, who was open. Coosa Christian lost to Pierce County 55-0 tonight at home. But Mars Hill, this has been the juggernaut in 3A football, now in this Class A Private Region 4. And then you got Decatur Heritage, instead of Decatur Christian, it should be Decatur Heritage. Whitesburg Christian, Jerry Adcock, former coach at Austin, a long time in Decatur. Great guy, great football coach. They won tonight. This is a new school, never played football there. And then you've got, I think, this is what I think. I think Whitesburg's going to be heard from, but Westbrook, Mars Hill. Just a couple weeks away, they're going to play each other. Coach, they might play twice.
Very well could.
I think very well could. Your thoughts on this region?
Well, that game between them, the first one, is important because that way that when they get in the playoffs, you could play at home. So I'm not. Is it at Westbrook?
It's at Westbrook.
Mars Hill?
Yep.
So Westbrook needs to win that one so they can play them again if they happen to match up at home. And Mars Hill Bible has a new coach. A lot of seniors graduated from last year, but he had already established that program. It's not like they're going to fall off the earth.
I believe they were behind to Madison Academy tonight up in Florence.
One of the big privates.
And came back and won. So that's a big deal there as we continue with our Amos and Askew Certified Public Accountants Region Rundown. We're going to go to Class A, actually Class 1A now. We're going to go to Class 1A. Class 1A Region 6, this is still the North. There's a lot of teams you would associate with the South, like Notasulga, Lafayette, Lochapoka. By the way, Lochapoka tonight, Coach, beat Lynette by 3 touchdowns. Yeah.
We're going to say that about 3 touchdowns.
40 to,
Lynette that has everybody coming back from last year.
40 to 20 tonight was the score we had.
Woo.
We'll make sure to double check that. But Wadley, of course, won. Winterboro won tonight over Vincent. Woodland, as we understand, beat Randolph County 2 touchdowns. So this region right here, maybe region think, this is Wadley, Winterboro. Lochapoka's going to be good. It looks like Woodland's going to be good. Fayetteville, John Limbaugh's done a great job there. We know Notasulga's going to be good. Lafayette's got good athletes. This is very, very underrated, this region right here, Coach.
It is, and it's a very athletic region. As soon as you see teams, I'm looking at athletes like, basketball type athletes. They're all over the place.
Lochapoka, yeah.
Shout out to my boy. He played for me. Good friend of my son's, Ezra Johnson, the new defensive coordinator there. Heck, that was a heck of a job to go into Randolph County and get that win tonight in the Grocery Bowl.
They 8 miles apart, I think, in that big battle. And
yes.
Randolph County won, I think, 12 in a row in that series before that tonight. Let's jump ahead now. Our Amos and Askew Certified Public Accountants, Class 1A Region 8 now as we continue in North Alabama. And in Region 8, again, Appalachian's going to be good. We know that. Cedar Bluff tonight, big win for Cole Murphy. His first game as a head coach, wins at West End. We saw West End in the FCA 7-on-7 in Rainbow City, and I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Woodville wins tonight. Galesville had an open date. Raglan lost. Spring Garden lost. Valley Head lost. But I'll tell you, Spring Garden's still going to have a good team.
Yes.
I think Raglan's still going to have a good team. Joel Poole and Woodville will be heard from. This, again, after some of the surprises we saw tonight, this region, Coach, looks a little tighter than maybe we thought it was going to be.
It may be 5 teams fighting for a way to get to the playoffs. And look, Galesville hadn't played yet, But me and you've listened to them talk and listened to their coach talk. When they've got that many seniors coming back and playing, was it 10 to 12?
I think so, and I think he's got like 19 starters
19 starters back.
Right.
So that's a whole lot of people on a 1A football team. And if they're going to be coached by him, you know they're going to be hard-nosed, and they're going to be tough, and they're going to be very physical.
Coach, we're welcoming a new sponsor in this year. I've already seen it on our scoreboard, our Whataburger scoreboard. And let me tell you about the folks at Whataburger. First thing is, hey, we're past midnight. They're still open. They're open 24/7. The 4 locations here in East Alabama. They're in Jacksonville. They're in Gadsden. They're in Attala. They're in Pell City. Check them out. They start serving breakfast, Coach, at 11 o'clock at night every night.
At night?
And serve it all the way to 11 a.m. in the morning. You can join the Whataburger Rewards and get you a free Whataburger. Go to Whataburger.com or the Whataburger app. Whataburger coming on board with us, sponsoring our Whataburger scoreboard on these football Friday nights. We still got our game of the week between Oxford and Gadsden City. We've got Jacksonville Piedmont highlights and a whole lot more. East Alabama, we got our top 10 coming up from awards to remember, and we're going to name our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. All still to come on this football Friday night.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates. Visit them at AnistonOrtho.com today or call 256-237-4121 for your appointment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. Amos & Askew CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
A lot of people love Whataburger, but we could give you the reasons. But the reasons ain't the same as tasting 100% fresh American beef. Plus more bold toppings and sauces than my cousin Franny's got excuses for missing work. But really, it's just hospitality, the family kind. Just ask Aunt Marla. She's a character.
Hey!
What a burger. Come one, come y'all.
Just a few weeks ago, the Quarterback Club of Calhoun County hosted the Calhoun County Media Day. As part of that, they unveiled their lineup for this year. All of these people are coming to the Aniston Country Club in person to speak. When I was a kid growing up, he was the quarterback of the Crimson Tide. Former Alabama quarterback Richard Todd kicks things off September 14th. Just happened September 21st. They got former Atlanta Braves pitcher John Smoltz coming to Anniston. Head football coach for the Jack State Gamecocks, Charles Kelly, will be there. Tom Hart, you see him on ESPN College Football. NFL referee, female NFL referee Sarah Thomas will be there. Former Auburn basketball player and now an announcer on the SEC Network, Damian Fishback, one of the more prominent players in Auburn basketball history. Really excited to see former Alabama tight end and NFL player Miller Forrestall. He's coming to town to speak, and then a special to be announced. You can join and be a part and come to all of these. They'll feed you a great meal at the Anniston Country Club. Tony Ball, our good friend there, former coach at Anniston High School on a state championship team. Coach Ball there, you can call him at 256-606-0710 for membership information. The Calhoun County Quarterback Club with another outstanding lineup. Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game on this football Friday night from the Sound Solutions Media Center, Highway 78 West in Oxford. Coach Chad Barnett. Chad Barnett, hey, Coach Michael Short. I've made him a coach tonight. We're back to talk about a game that I was at tonight. And this score, I'm sure, around the state of Alabama.
A lot of people talking about it.
A lot of people talking about it. Shockwaves. #1 Piedmont. Loaded. One of the great senior classes. Great football team. We'll talk about this in depth. At home tonight, Field of Champions taking on the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. And let me tell you, it was all Jacksonville tonight. I cannot tell you how impressed I was with Jacksonville's football team tonight. Very, very, very good football team.
Calhoun County Media Days, Jeremy Sullivan said we should have been a third-round team last year. I think we can agree with that right now, with the way they came out and started today. Of course, they have an influx of a couple of players, but I mean, they've got a good football team and have over the last year or so. And you can't question the guts of either one of these coaches because the non-conference or non-region schedule for these teams, Jacksonville scheduled Piedmont, Oxford, and Cherokee County non-region. Piedmont faced off with Jacksonville, Cherokee County, and Alexandria. Neither one of these teams are afraid of the smoke, as they say, in the non-region. So let's go to the game action, and it started quick for Jacksonville. Kevin Hughley, untouched, 72 yards, exclamation on the first touch of the season. Jacksonville takes a 7-0 lead, and there we go, the RO Supply touchdown T-shirts. How long have the RO Supply been with us?
They've been with us the second year of the touchdown T-shirts. RO Supply windows and doors, throwing them out in the Jacksonville student section. There's RO Supply, windows and doors and more.
Always appreciate RO Supply for the support. Let's now look at the Piedmont offense. Jackson Howard going to pick a nice 15-yard pickup, but wouldn't end well. Carson Sanders would fumble this ball. Jacksonville would recover. Laid on the ground there for a second, but Jacksonville would go to the air. Marquavius McNeil, holdover from last year, still making plays in 2026. McNeil, 80-yard touchdown pass, 14-0 Jacksonville. Ensuing kickoff. This one's going to bounce around, and this is one of those that Coach Smith is going to pull his kids back and say, look, we didn't play our best either. So Jacksonville now with the ball. They're going to give it right back to Piedmont. So Piedmont possibly is going to escape disaster here, but this is going to be a shanked punt for Jacksonville. Get Piedmont with a chance, but it will lead to a big play here momentarily. Cole Austin stopped for a 2-yard gain, and then here we go. Aiden Elston, he's going to pick off this pass. He's got reservations for 6. That is back to the house, making it 20-0 Jacksonville. This is at halftime. This is in the first half. Jacksonville, I think, only had, I was listening to the, between Pleasant Valley and all the pig trails all the way to AHSAA. I was listening to 95.1, listening to the game that we were going to be talking about here. Jacksonville only had 1 first down in the first half until late in the first half. They put together a drive. So these were big plays. Piedmont maybe didn't help themselves on a few plays, but Jacksonville, boy, they capitalized on every mistake. 34-8. Shocker tonight here.
I want to emphasize 2 things here watching this game tonight. First, Piedmont still, I feel like, is deserving of this #1 and 2A ranking. Mm-hmm. This is a great 2A football team. This is, I'm going to say it,
very good.
This is a great 4A football team right here.
For sure.
Piedmont is still going to be, in my mind, one of the leading contenders to get to Mobile in Class 2A. But Jacksonville, I tell you, they reminded me a lot of last year's Moody team that won the 5A. They are big. Yeah. They are good on defense. They have big playability, as we saw there. They're good on special teams. The quarterback cross land, that sequence there.
We didn't even talk about him. I mean, McNeil had a beautiful 80-yard touchdown pass, but it was on the dime.
He had a Piedmont defender in his face and took a big hit when he unleashed that. So there's a fumble by Piedmont. The next play, 80-yard touchdown pass. All of a sudden, it's 14-0. There was shock on the Piedmont sideline at the Field of Champions. Not a lot of folks come in there in the first quarter and jump on Piedmont 14-0. Yeah. But I really think that these teams, Coach Short, are going to play for a long time in November, both of them.
Yeah, well, he scheduled those games for a reason. I mean, I don't know how much of a challenge he'll have from top to bottom in his region. Well, I'm talking about Piedmont. So he scheduled the hard games. I mean, he faced as physical a team because of the size that Jacksonville now has up front, and they won't see that often. But it'll happen in the playoffs maybe. So now they'll be more prepared. I know he doesn't like to have a loss. You don't want to lose like that in game one, but it will be a great teaching moment for Coach and them to be able to come back and say, guys, we can do this, we can do that. Let me show you where we're at, because I'm telling you, as a coach, he'll be able to take this and make a positive out of it.
Yeah, my friends up in center, your friend and my friend, Coach Bailey Blanchard up at Cherokee County. Don't 34-8. The temptation is to maybe this is the Battle of Highway 9, so I don't think it's going to happen. But let me tell you, that's going to be a really motivated Piedmont team coming up, as we call it up there, number 9. That's going to be a heck of a game next week. And think about this, guys. Next week, Coach, you want to know our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance game?
I think I already know where this is going.
Right down the street here, Lamar Field, Oxford, and Jacksonville. That has all of a sudden turned into what a game.
Who's the favorite?
It's going to be
that's a heck of a question.
It's going to be a battle.
Both teams were impressive tonight. I mean, both teams opened, again, not the win. It's the size of the win and the way it looked. Shocking a little bit on the margin of victory. So it's all going to go down about a mile down the road here next week. But you said something, and I want to go back to this because I heard you say it when I first walked in. I was like, did he just say what I think he said? You mentioned Moody.
Yeah. 5A state champion last year.
Yeah.
Jacksonville looks a lot like them.
Okay.
They are big up front, like Moody was. They have a good quarterback. They may have a better quarterback.
Possibly.
They've got tons of at the wide receiver position. Well coached, obviously. Coach Sullivan and his staff well coached. And this is I think Jacksonville not ranked in the top 10, and I think they may have a little chip on their shoulder about that nobody in the state's talking about Jacksonville. Their Jamboree game last week, they went up and beat a Scottsboro team who had virtually everybody back, who went to the semifinals last year, and they beat them 27-7 in the varsity part of it. I'm telling you, folks, Jacksonville, I've seen them in person. Coach, you've seen them in some 7-on-7s. They're the real deal. They are the real deal.
Well, Coach Sullivan's right where he wants to be. He's an old school guy. He don't want to be talked about. They just keep winning week after week after week.
They're going to be talked about now.
I was going to say that changed at about 9:00 p.m. tonight.
It was brought up on the sidelines tonight. I heard people talking about when I give them a score. They said, "Oh, okay, Jacksonville, they're not that big up front." I said, hey, that's kind of changed now, guys. They're a lot bigger up front.
They got some specimens up front. Let me tell you.
It'll probably be the same size because we'll look here in a minute. Oxford's not a huge football team up front.
Let's tell you about the folks at Awards to Remember. Folks, all of our awards that we give out. You saw the trophy earlier for our Cheahaw Cheer and Tumble Cheer Squad of the Week. They give the awards for our upcoming Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, which we're going to name coming up in just a little bit. They are also the folks that provide our plaque for our Player of the Week. They provide all of our awards, and nobody does it better. I'm on the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame board, and they provide all of our awards and have for the entire history of the Hall of Fame. And everybody raves about the plaques and the awards that we give out to the inductees, and it's all from Awards to Remember. Go to awardstoremember.com. Robert Smith and his folks have been over 40 years in business. Any kind of award you want, they've got it out there. go to awardstoremember.com. Visit them. Go out and see some of these in person. 4017 Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. Give them a phone call, 256-892-2500. Coming up, it is time for our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Man, it's a blast over at Gadsden City. Oxford Yellow Jackets, very impressive tonight, beating Gadsden City. We'll go with Coach Short and the crew over to Titan Stadium next.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
I love getting to work with Noble Bank. They hold the same values that I do personally and our company.
It's like working with a big bank, but with a small town feel. You get to deal with the banker directly when you need anything at any time.
It's crucial for small businesses to have an independent bank because we don't always fit in a box.
It is such a special feeling to be able to walk into a place where literally everyone knows your name.
Anytime I'm out talking about banking, I'm always quick to recommend Noble Bank. They always get everything done just the way I need it done.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Aniston Orthopedic Associates. Visit them at AnistonOrtho.com today or call 256-237-4121 for your appointment.
It's game time, and your home deserves a winning play.
At Ted's Floors and Beyond, we're your home renovation MVP. Scoring big with top quality cabinets, flooring, countertops, and tile.
Whether you're tackling a full remodel or just need new floors before kickoff, we've got unbeatable deals, including 0% interest for 12 months and free in-home estimates.
Don't fumble your dream home. Hustle into Ted's today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Tax season shouldn't come with financial surprises. At Amos & Askew Certified Public Accountants, we work with businesses and individuals throughout the year, helping you understand where you stand financially and plan for what's ahead. It's the trusted local accounting practice our community has known for decades, now strengthened for the future. Call 256-237-1664 to speak with one of our professionals. Amos & Askew CPAs, locally owned, community grown.
WM Grocery, they have locations in Piedmont, in Heflin, in Wedowee, and in Roanoke. They provide all of our food for us here, and you want to talk about catering. Catering is a WM specialty. Most of the big major events that happen here in East Alabama are catered by WM Grocery. We're about to show you why. We're going to show you some of the spread that they had here tonight for us, and they do this every week, and there's some of the spread right here. Tuscan chicken. There's some garlic bread. Look at that charcuterie board there. The chicken was fantastic. Got the tossed salad there. We have fresh baked cookies as well. I mean, look at this, folks. Wouldn't you love this at your tailgate, guys? Wouldn't you love this at your house? Look at those
The Tuscan
grapes.
chicken was legit.
Oh,
it was
man,
really
it's
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe before we get done.
It's still out there. Some of it isn't, the coach. They feed all of our crew and all of our guests on these football Friday nights. I'm a cheese guy and a fruit guy, and man, that charcuterie board was just phenomenal tonight. Let's talk about, check out WM Grocery. Ms. Kay Harris, she will take great care of you with all your catering needs for your next big event. Chad Barnett, Coach Michael Short here with us. Time for our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Coach Short was over at Titan Stadium tonight. And guys, Coach, the crowd. We expected these are the two big boys of East Alabama football here, Gadsden City and Oxford. What was the crowd?
Well, I was trying to get there early, but then the gas station, my pump broke on me, and here I am. I just didn't get here on time.
Fair enough.
But we leave, and we're going up there. And I'm going to Titan Stadium, and I'm out there on, what was that, 7 bypass?
Black Shears Driveway?
Black Creek Parkway.
Black Creek Parkway, yeah.
But we were already getting over in the turning lane. We're just getting off the off-ramp. And we sat out there for almost 15 minutes on the off-ramp trying to get there. And the traffic was everywhere, and people were cheating, and I didn't know how to cheat. People were going in the left lane.
Cheating traffic.
People were going down toward Coosa and turn around and coming right back up.
Do you let people merge?
That's cheating.
No,
if somebody comes up the side, are you one of those that let them merge?
I didn't let them over.
Okay, good.
So, but we finally get there, and it was people still coming in at the end of the first quarter. That's how crowded it was.
Cheating traffic drivers in Gadsden tonight.
They were.
Wily rascals over there.
There was some cheerleaders from Oxford that just got out of one vehicle and got over there and got in the back of a truck and go ahead the rest of the way in.
But I love hearing these stories because it illustrates the passion and the importance of high school football.
Yes, it does.
Chad, Gadsden City, Oxford. Another one of these things like Pleasant Valley, White Plains, they played every year in the history of Gadsden City High School up until 2021. They stopped playing for the last 4 years. I don't know why. People ask me, why did they stop playing? I don't know. And so... Anyway, they're back on the schedule. It's great for high school football. Gadsden City needs a rival.
Yes.
Oxford needs a rival.
Well, there it is.
It's a great rivalry.
There's a rival.
And
it was a vacuum. Whenever Oxford lost to Anniston, it was right around the same time that Gadsden City was kind of starting up. They had that run for 16 years.
Yes.
And then they stopped. Pell City has tried to come in and be the Oxford Pell City, and it's had moments, but it's never really been taken.
Because
precedent.
Oxford pretty much has dominated Pell City in recent years. Gadsden City had a winning record against Oxford. They were 9-8 going into tonight's game. Now it's tied.
Yep, now it's tied. But the rivalry is back, so we go to Titan Stadium this is actually going to be out at Welborn. This is a totally different ballgame. Jeff Smith Field, he was donning the set tonight.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the win tonight.
What's going on here?
There you go. See, this is a
there we
There's
go.
Titan Stadium.
That's Titan Stadium.
That's how. And
Coach,
people are still coming in.
You were on the sideline just a couple hours ago, cussing people in traffic, the cheaters. All right, so let's start off with the game. Titans and Yellow Jackets. The rivalry is back. Judd Edwards, Game of the Week. Appreciate him for sponsoring once again this season, and it starts off with a bang. As we get Oxford fielding the kickoff, Kamari English. He's going to take it, find a little bit of room, and then he is gone. 90 yards for the opening kickoff. Just like the Jacksonville and Piedmont game, the team that eventually won punched first on the kickoff. 90 yards, 7-0 Oxford. Gas City's first drive would stall Maddox Mims, quarterback keeper. He's going to pick up 50 yards on the keeper. Mims, then he's going to find a 19-yard touchdown pass, putting Oxford up 14-0 on the road. Shocking right now as they are on the road and they're up 14-0. Gadsden City student section cheering on the Titans. And this is going to be a 78-yard touchdown for Oxford. We don't have number 7 on the roster, so I can't tell you what his name is. I can tell you he's fast. He gets into the end zone. 21-0 now Oxford. Sam Adams, he knows his name, I'm sure. Mims, as Oxford is going to be back on offense again. He's going to tuck the ball this time, get back in the end zone, takes a thud at the goal line, puts him up 28-0. Sam Solly, this is an Auburn quarterback, finally gets the Titans on the board. 70-yard touchdown, 28-7 is the score. And then Mims, he's going to keep this ball again, fight his way into the end zone. Oxford just kept putting on the numbers tonight, 35-7 at this point. English now from the Wildcat formation, 42-7 Oxford at the break. More of Oxford in the second half. Mims throws over the middle, connects with Chris McNeil for a 50-yard touchdown pass. Now 49-7 Oxford. Solly, this time finding a 65-yard pass and catch of his own, gets back into the board for the Titans. It's 49-14 at this point. But English and Oxford would come back again. English taking the handoff. He's going to go 15 yards for a touchdown of his own. Oxford goes on to win massive tonight, 56-28. So that's a huge win. Again, we've seen some head scratchers tonight. Again, not that who won, who lost, but there's just some scores tonight that we are looking at like, that just happened. But it's also week one of the high school football season. People make mistakes. People don't play as clean. Maybe another team comes out and is sharp, return to kickoff for a score. Oxford wins big tonight.
56-14 at one time.
Yeah,
a couple of late touchdowns by Gadsden City.
Crazy.
I don't think anybody saw that happening.
No.
But not Oxford winning, but Oxford winning by that margin, and it really wasn't that close. So a really impressive performance by Oxford tonight. Coach, you were there. I think we got a post-game interview coming up in just a second. They'll let us know if we've got that. We got it. But before we go to that interview, just your impressions of the ebb and flow of this game. It appears from the keeping up with it during the game that this was total domination by Oxford.
Talking to people on the sidelines before the game, you know, Oxford had a spring training this past year and actually had a physical spring training, trying to bring back the physicality that they probably didn't have last year, and you could tell that tonight. They were a much improved football team on the defensive side. I think they knew that defensively they was going to be pretty good. They were maybe concerned about the offense coming around with some new people, but the offense came around. And look, they only give up one touchdown on the first team defense.
Wow.
7 points.
And that's with an SEC quarterback at Gadsden City in Sam South.
And the defensive front was outweighed by a lot. Gadsden City's offensive line is huge. But Oxford has got so much quickness, and they're very physical. They got linebackers that can run. So, it was very impressive because it opens up with a kickoff return. And that's what you look for early in the year. People making those, mistakes or capitalizing on the mistakes on the kicking game. And I was very impressed with Oxford tonight. And Coach Adams said, hey, this was fun.
All right, we're going to see how fun it was. We're going to take that with Coach Short and Coach Adams out to Titan Stadium after the game.
This is Coach Short with High School Football Alabama's after the game at Titan Stadium tonight with the big matchup between the Oxford Yellow Jackets and the Gadsden City Titans. And I'm here right now with Coach Sam Adams, the victorious Coach Sam Adams. Coach Adams, give us a little idea about how this game went. But first of all, you couldn't have asked for a better start for a football game.
That's right. Well, I mean, they will probably get fewer and fewer chances of that because I don't think people are going to kick it to Kamari English very, very many more times throughout the season. But he's got a huge skill set. He's a big-time playmaker for us, and that started us off great. We made a big commitment prior to the spring to be a team that's going to be physical on the line of scrimmage and tackle well and block well, and I thought that was the biggest difference in the game tonight. I thought we were definitely the more physical team and ran the ball super efficiently and got a lot of stops on defense that way as well.
I knew that in a spring you went back and had a spring and it was meant to be more physical, and you could tell that real early on in the ball game. But you have to be happy with your kicking game and your offense and defense, and you just kind of played a very good for a first opening game of the year. And as hot as it's been, I didn't see a lot of cramping. You're in great condition, and you got to be happy with all those factors.
Yeah, that was really the number one thing I was concerned about going in the game was just substitution patterns and organization on the sideline. You try to simulate that stuff in practice, but it's never exactly like it is on a Friday. You can't simulate that whole chaos that can be on the sideline. But I don't think we didn't have a big problem with that. Maybe one or two guys went in there a little bit late a few times. But we'll look at that on Sunday. And I mean, I'm just super proud of the guys. They took on the personality of the kind of team that we wanted to be this year, and now we just got to keep getting better and better.
Coach, real quickly, tell us who all we got standing here with you tonight.
We got senior linebacker Jaius Fleming and junior quarterback Maddox Mims.
Guys, real quickly, tell me, I know you've had from last year, you've worked hard over the spring and over the summer. Give us an idea just how important this game was to get the season started off right.
Well, last year we started off 0-2, and like you could just kind of tell, like the way the locker room was, it wasn't what we wanted it to be. So starting this game 1-0, it just kind of gives us a boost. Like going to the locker room Sunday, tonight and tomorrow, enjoy it, and then Sunday morning get back to work because we worked hard up to this point for it. We won the week, and obviously it showed on Friday. We won the day. So.
I noticed that while we were waiting here for Coach Adams to get through, that you had to run down there and take a picture. Please tell me that was your offensive line.
Yes, that was my offensive line. They worked really hard. I'm so thankful for them.
All right, defensively, and I'm an old defensive guy. I like the way you played defense tonight. You rallied to the ball, but you were very, very physical on defense. Give us an idea about the physicality y'all have developed since last year.
I just feel like that's just what we lacked in last year, and we just filled in. We've checked the boxes off, and that's just what we had to do. And I feel like we did a great job at it. by checking off the boxes and getting more physical by having a physical spring.
Well, Coach, you know that those mistakes that you talked about that you can work on, they're a whole lot easier to work on after a victory.
That's right. That was what I challenged our senior group with when I talked to them after the game was, making sure that while we want to have fun with this one for another day or so, that come Sunday, we got to be honest with our evaluation on film and make sure the mistakes that we made this week don't pop up again next week. We gave up a long touchdown on defense with the one guys in there, and we had a formation issue earlier in the game down close to the goal line, and it cost us on one run down there. So we've definitely got things we can get better at.
Well, Coach, you coached all the way to the end because even before halftime, and I was kind of down there with you, and I guess we're still always on the field coaching those officials too. So right. I think maybe you was trying to just learn what to tell your kids, and that's right.
I was, yeah. That wasn't something where I was really arguing anything. I just wanted to know how they decided to keep the clock running in that situation rather than stop the clock because – we're going to be we play against a lot of good football teams this year, right. And we're going to have situations where we have to put together a 2-minute drive to try to win a game or tie a game up, and I just want to be clear on how they're officiating some of the sideline stuff so we can know if we got to stop the clock how to do that exactly the right way.
Well, Coach, I'm very impressed with your players and your team, and it showed a lot of class and just the way you went about the ball game. And congratulations on the victory #1, and hopefully that's many for the year.
That's right.
Together, high school football Alabama's after the game with the victorious Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Coach Sam Adams there, and guys, we mentioned now this next week is going to be a lot of hype around this game at Lamar Field. A lot of hype between Jacksonville and Oxford. So with that said, let's go back to our Amos and Askew CPAs and look at the Class 4A regions because here we are, 4A Region 6 in our Amos and Askew Certified Public Accountants Region Rundown. Jacksonville, we think, and I don't see anything tonight. I know Clay Central lost and Moody lost, but I still think this is one of the top regions in the state. Maybe not, to be honest with you, maybe not what we thought it was before the night, but Jacksonville won, Lincoln won last night, Sylacauga won tonight against Holtville, Alexandria hadn't opened, they haven't played yet, Leeds had an open date, Anniston lost big tonight at Geraldine. That was a shocker. They lost 61-22. Central Clay County lost to 5 in overtime, and then Moody lost big, 35-7 to Briarwood. But right now, after what we've seen tonight, this team right here, and let's look at maybe this team right here. And I have said, guys, for the last few years that the best rivalry in Calhoun County, I think,
it's a good one,
is this one and this one. And there's a lot of smack being talked last year at this game about Olive Gardens and all that stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be.
And that's a ways away. But now, it's not a region game, but Jacksonville and Oxford at Lamar Field. Whew, what a game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it here to the – I may have to go some back roads to get here to the studio next week with all the traffic that'll be out there. Guys, your thoughts on this 4A Region 6?
Real quick before we do anything, Josh Dupree was the name of the number 7 running back for Oxford.
Josh Dupree.
Did some digging. Just wanted to make sure, give him some love. Kid had some good runs there. I remember when I was looking at all these regions before the season started, looking to see who's got opportunities, who can do what. I remember just looking at Lincoln and remembering all the kids they have coming back and, the good coaching staff, all that kind of stuff. And I just remember thinking, my God, they've got so much to contend. There's a lot of, to contend with here just to make the playoffs. So it's extremely tough because there's so many teams in here that are talented, have history. I know Moody, got a new coach and all that kind of stuff. Anniston didn't look quite as good, obviously, this week as they did last year. Central Clays, they're still there. So there's just so many names on this region here. That's
Coach, this thing
good.
Got shook up tonight, just after 1 week of non-region play.
Yeah, it did, and I always, as a coach, I didn't try to put too much into that first week. I knew you did, but as a coach, all right, we reset, we start over. Because I've seen teams that play terrible game 1, and all of a sudden they come back at the end of the year, you look at them and they're in the third round of the playoffs somehow. But, and when I look here right now, Jacksonville next week, that's going to be a big ball game. But after watching all this right now, I'm going to have to be real interested to see them Valley Cubs versus them Golden Eagles. Because they don't like each other anyway.
Gonna be intense here in a few
Where's that game
Where
at?
would it be at?
Alexandria.
It's in okay.
Death Valley.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
All right.
Sylacauga's not bad. I mean, Sylacauga's good.
Yeah, Sylacauga coming
Yeah.
along with Chris Smelly. Class 4A Region 8, we got 2 teams that are in this region. Let's go to that next region. This is a 9-team region in 4A Region 8. Only 2 of the teams that are going to be local, what we would call local. That's Cherokee County. They had an open date. And then, of course, you got Sardis. They lost tonight. Then you got, this is 9 teams in 8 different counties. I want to draw your attention. They haven't played high school football game in, 5-6 years? Crossville hasn't. Everybody thought did not play at all. This is what was a 5A school, now 4A. Hey, they won tonight. They beat Asbury.
Yeah.
So Crossville won. This is a headline around the state. Crossville football back, and they won tonight.
Good soccer team. I think
Good Hope knocked Cherokee County out of the playoffs last year. Scottsboro, semifinal team last year in 5A. Fairview, great program over the last 2 or 3 years.
I think they played West Point tonight.
Who's that? Fairview probably did, because that's a big Coleman County rivalry.
Yeah, and
there.
that's who.
And it looks like that. It looks like that West Point maybe beat them, because we got Fairview at 0-1.
Fairview came to Jacksonville. Was it last year or the year before last in the playoffs? Was it last year? Yeah.
So
big kids.
So that's going to be a Cherokee County, kind of a mystery team, coach, with Bailey Blanchard up there. But I think in this region, what we've seen so far, they're going to be very competitive. Gunnersville lost to Arab tonight. Gunnersville looks like they're maybe down a little bit this year. They got a new coach.
Got a new coach, and now got to find a defense coordinator. They
Yes.
lost their defense coordinator.
Absolutely. So that's Class 4A Region 8 in our Amos and Askew region rundown from Class 4A. All right, when we come back, we got some more highlights, and we also have got, after those highlights, we're going to have our first ever of the year, our awards to Remember East Alabama Top 10. But before all of that, as we go to break, it's time for our next Extra Point presented by Randy Wood, State Representative out of District 36. Let's go to our second Extra Point. 2026 reclassification saw, as we mentioned this earlier, I counted these by hand, guys, 247 schools in the AHSAA switch classifications. That number included 29 schools just here in East Alabama. Obviously, all the private schools moved into the new Class A private. Cleburne County, Talladega, and Etowah moved to Class 3A for the first time ever in the 6-class system. Sacs moved to Class 2A, and Central Clay County and Sylacauga moved to Class 4A, also for the first time. Back on After the Game in just a moment.
At Jack State, friendly is more than just a smile. It's a promise, one to support you in every step of your education and prepare you for everything your future holds. To be there for you on campus, online, and everywhere in between. To make a quality education an accessible one, guaranteeing you won't just join the Gamecock community, but find people here who are invested in your success. Because when you become a Gamecock, friendly lasts a lifetime.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts, life's simple pleasures. You know, life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheehaw Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheehaw family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheehawCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
High school football, Alabama's after the game on this Football Friday night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder, Chad Barnett, Coach Michael Short. We're going to take you at the very beginning of the show, which was a long time ago. Chris Stone, head coach of Hope Christian, was in talking about a historical game, guys. First ever win, first ever game in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and what I think is going to be a big rivalry through the years with Donahoe. That was played last night, Big Jack Stovall Field here in Oxford. We got the highlights of the game, and tell you, Hope Christian, very impressive. They win 47-8 last night, 47-6, I should say.
Yeah, 13 months ago, they didn't have a team. No games, ever. They go make the playoffs last year in AHSAA, and then they make the massive jump to the AHSAA this season. And, you know, just crazy as that sounds, like you had no program whatsoever, and now you had a playoff run, and now you're starting off this season really well. They played Donahoe tonight, or last night, excuse me. The old Barber Dairy is what we used to call it. No longer. And Donahoe, you know, they came out and played hard. But I tell you, Hope was just on a different level last night. Luke Farrell is going to be stuffed by the Hope Christian defense. Hope Christian Academy offense, their quarterback, Caden Bozeman, quarterback keeper around the outside. Bozeman will take it all the way now to the end zone for the touchdown. One of many for number 3 on the night. And there you see Coach Stone enjoying what he sees. 6-0 after the extra point is no good. Luke Farrell, this time he's going to hand it off again, and he's going to be dropped by a host of Saints all over the Falcons offense. 3rd and 1 now. Luke Farrell is going to get the first down with a quarterback sneak. So a little positive action coming here for Donahoe as they're trying to get something moving. Luke Farrell, though, is going to hand it off again, but it's going to be fumbled and eventually picked up by a member of the purple and gold. The Saints take over, and that is going to be Caden Bozeman again. He's going to drop back, find Jackson Cullen for a first down. Bozeman again throws a quick screen pass. Nick Morrow, who's going to take this one all the way to the end zone for another touchdown. Hope just looking really strong on the night at this point. Luke Farrell, though, back on offense for Donahoe. Strike a pose, kid. Luke Farrell hands it off. It's going to be a nice gain here for Donahoe, moving the chains for a first down, but a bad snap. It's going to be recovered again by Hope. Another turnover for the Falcons. And Caden Bozeman going to drop back, throw it deep. Another bright spot here for the Falcons. Noah McClendon. Nice pick for the Falcons, giving them some life, down a few scores. Can they get something going? But Luke Farrell is going to be stuffed again by the Hope Academy defense. Bozeman, this time, he's going to connect with Kingston Eagle, who's going to pick up enough for the first down for Hope. But the Academy, the offense, is going to be stuffed this time by Donahoe. Bozeman, though, he's going to throw this next one deep to Jordan Newton. Hope Christian Academy, another touchdown. It's going to be 18-0 at this point. And guys, you know, we could go over every one of these highlights, but it just seems to me like Hope in this second year has taken a step, even more so than maybe you would have expected from their massive lead from last year.
Talking with Coach Stone earlier, numbers are good. Got about 40 players out. Numbers are not good at Donahoe. Donahoe, probably, I think, 18 to 21 players, something like that.
And
so
they were young last year, too.
Depth is an issue.
Yeah.
But this is a team at Hope Christians. We talked with Coach Stone. They got Charles Henderson of Troy.
That's
Big
the
4A
weirdest one
coming.
ever, right? Because, I mean, when I was told about this matchup, I was like, how did that get scheduled?
Well, he
What
talked
is the
about
connection?
that. He couldn't find, because they came into the Athletic Association late, did Hope
Yes.
Christian, in the springtime. Everybody had their schedule set. Charles Henderson needed a game. He did his research. I'll tell you, Coach Stone is pretty confident that they can compete with us. Coach Short told us Hope Christian this summer in 7-on-7s. I see the final score there, 48-7. Hope Christian beating Donahoe. He was confident at media day. He was confident here tonight that they didn't say he was going to win, but that they could compete. They would not be outclassed by Charles Henderson. That's a big school. That's the big city high school in Troy.
In Troy, yeah.
They play their home games at Veterans
Gallery?
Memorial Stadium at Troy, at the Troy State campus, and now they're coming to the Medigo Dairy.
Okay.
All right, so going to be a big.
It used to be the Movie Gallery Stadium, wasn't it? At Detroit? I think they change names all the time.
Yeah.
But they were playing Oxford well in some of those 7-on-7s this summer, were they not?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were in the semifinals at
Like
the
how?
Cherokee County 7-on-7. Well, they got players,
Mhm.
and they got some people. I mean, when you walk out there, it's like, what's that group? Bozeman kid can play. They're running the zone read. I saw that when they were running the zone read, the option out of it, and he kept it. He throws the ball well. They can catch the ball. I was just wondering about their linemen. I mean, you can look good in 7-on-7, but do you have the linemen for it? And undoubtedly they do.
All right, our East Alabama top 10 is coming up momentarily. Before that,
the walk of shame.
I feel like we're bringing, it's kind of like wrestling, big wrestling fans. Like we brought in a surprise. We brought in a surprise, a guy that's shocking the fans out there. I can't believe he showed up. Namath Pitts, who has been sequestered up in Connecticut for the last couple of years. He's now back in the South, and he's joined our crew here on High School Football Alabama, and he has his Pitts Pick'ems presented by Big Woody's Tires. Namath, tell us how you did this first week.
Well, it's the first week, and I'm just getting the rust off my tires after getting back in the South. I've been dealing with snow shoveling and all those things, so I haven't had much rust from
snow shoveling
from high school football.
That's the excuse for this
snow shoveling.
Let me ask you, anytime you pick Piedmont, Central Clay County,
Well, he's making a good point here.
Yeah.
you know, anytime you pick those teams, you expect them to win. And I got to tell you guys, from what I've heard you guys say about Jacksonville, which I told you before, I was like, I kind of was thinking Jacksonville was going to win, and I kind of wish I had changed that pick beforehand. But 6-4, you got to start somewhere. So
It's a winning record.
Yeah, it's a winning record. Some regions that gets you in the playoffs.
But those four were not like one-score games. Those
No,
were
they were blowouts. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was a little cocky today.
Oh, yeah.
I was hearing 9-1
it was in the text thread.
9-1.
Yeah, I went 3-0 last night, and I was
3-0,
like,
yeah.
hey, I'm like Coach Lee at Cleveland County. We just went on Thursday nights. Something about Thursday nights. I get it done on Thursday nights. If Pitts Pickles was strictly Thursday night football games, my record would be good.
So let's see, 3-0 Thursday night, but Friday night you were 3-4.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Check him out Wednesdays nights, Wednesday evenings. The time may vary. You just go to our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, and he's going to have picks next week, including that Jacksonville and Oxford game.
That'll be on TikTok too.
TikTok, X.
We put it everywhere, man. So
Kids will love to hear that.
Before I came on, I was actually going ahead and putting our highlights on TikTok. So we really want to make sure that we're expanding our social media presence this season. So I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to be a part of the team.
He's our social media coordinator this year. All right, so guys, let me know about East Alabama top 10. We're ready. All right, Namath, we're going to lock you out of here. Thank you very much. Coming all the way over from Metro Atlanta. Here is our first Awards to Remember East Alabama Top 10. Doesn't it look good, guys?
That's beautiful.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. We got we had a
way.
shakeup. I had to start somewhere, and I'll tell you where I started, guys. My 10 that I had coming into tonight got rocked to the core. I mean rocked to the core. So here we go. East Alabama Top 10. Here we go. Number 10, do y'all love me in Heflin again after my mistake last night? Cleveland County. But I'll tell you, and I've told Coach Short this for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think this is going to be a team that's going to climb. I think we're going to see them in state ASWA rankings before all this is done.
Okay.
So that's not just pandering to the Heflin crowd. Number 10. Number 9, first time ever. First time ever, I think we've had Cleveland County. First time ever Hope Christian. Guys, I just think that in there, again, this is not saying that Hope Christian's better than Cleveland County or any of the other teams. This is in their division. In their division, Hope Christian's going to be one of the top teams in North Alabama. Number 8, Clay Central. I had them
That could
higher.
be the lowest I've ever seen them in this poll, right? Because they're always in our poll, but they're usually on that side.
That side. And they were on this side.
Yeah, until today, yeah.
This afternoon they were on this side. But I really think, listen, losing in overtime to 5, I mean, they're going to win. And Coach Short said it. They're going to win some football games. Don't forget about them. Number 7, our East Alabama top 10, Piedmont. Obviously, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be transparency here. I had them right here this afternoon. They lost to a great team. They lost 34-8, so I'll drop them. I can't drop them all the way out because, again, this is a team that's going to win a lot of football games. And don't be surprised if they make a run to Mobile.
You and Namath been drinking the same Kool-Aid,
Yeah,
I guess.
know.
That's what happened.
Number 6, Pleasant Valley. I see nothing. They're number 5 in 2A. I see nothing tonight after an impressive win over White Plains to keep them there. Let's get our top 5 and our awards to remember. East Alabama top 10. Jacksonville. They were over here. They're going to climb higher. They're now in our top 5.
That may be their highest ranking ever that I've seen in this poll.
Probably so.
Yeah.
They are not state ranked. They will be this week in Class 4A, but they're already number 5 in our East Alabama top 10. Probably need to be higher. Probably
and it's not just
higher.
that they beat a ranked team. They beat a ranked team with name recognition.
At the Field of Champions.
People will hear about
With a
that.
lot
and
of
be like,
players
wait a
I'm
minute.
going to have to go back and look when the last time Piedmont
they've returned
lost.
10 out of 11 defensive players.
Yes.
So, yeah.
When's the last time Piedmont lost by 26 points at the Field of Champions?
I don't know.
Pre-Steve Smith, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll
maybe,
get up.
no, what was the Madison Academy? No?
I don't think they beat them that bad.
No.
I think it was pretty close. Number 4, Wadley. Number 2 in the state.
Keep on going.
Won against Horseshoe Bend, beat their old coach badly by 5 touchdowns. Pretty impressive.
You
Number
think they
3
were
in our
motivated for that?
East Alabama top 10, Alexandria. Haven't played a game yet, but we know what they've got coming back. They won 10 football games last year, and basically that team's coming back. So until further notice, that's
a good one.
That's going to happen here, folks. Number 2 in our East Alabama top 10, Westbrook Christian. They had an open date. Basically, another 10-win team for Steve Smith. They have virtually everybody coming back in their division. Again, in that Class Single A, they're going to be really, really competitive.
And a great kicker.
Maybe a run to Mobile for them, too. Number 1 in our East Alabama top 10, Hanley. Didn't play tonight, but Hanley last year probably played Jackson, the eventual 4A state champions, as well as anybody. Coach, we were at the Tri-County Media Day down in Wadley, and Chris White and that team, they are hungry. And you combine hunger and talent, that's Hanley number 1. Now, I talked, you guys, tell us about it.
Yeah, Hanley's going to be okay. You know, they lost they had a running back and another player transferred to Orange Beach, but they still got plenty of players, and they played a jamboree tonight. Even though they didn't score, but they played a good Valley team that's going to be a lot better, 14-0, and it was 7-0 at the halftime. So they played a jamboree tonight. So, I could look for them. Don't be surprised at Pleasant Valley and how good they're going to be again this year. They got the Soster kid out there. It's a 3-star, maybe a 4-star.
And he's so big.
He is.
When
he
you
can
walk
run.
out there, you see him amongst those other players. Well, both him and Inglesby both tonight, they just look like they did.
Yeah, you can see those guys when they come off the bus.
Yeah.
The thing about him that I've come to know over the past couple of years, not only is he a good player, but he's a good person.
Good leader.
He's a very good kid.
Yeah,
great young man.
Yeah.
No doubt. Chad, thoughts on the top 10?
I mean, we got so many good teams on here. Winterboro, maybe at some point.
Maybe. Vincent tonight.
Yeah. The thing that's going to be impressive about Winterboro is they got again play every one of their games on the road, and they'll say, well, they got a home field. No, they're still playing on the road. They got to go play all their games in John Cox Stadium. Is that right?
The old John.
The old John Cox Stadium. Yeah, the old field of Childersburg.
Second year they've done that though, so I mean it's not
going to
have
2 full years where they haven't played a game in Winterboro.
Yeah, so they're tested when that comes to that. I don't know. I mean, they've got some tough teams they got to face. But it's a team we could see in their top 10 at some point.
It may be a year that there's going to be a lot of parity in our high school football. We can't just look there tonight and say, well, that team's going to be there, and we've done that before. Well, they're going to be there, and they're going to be there. Right now, to me, it's just like a crapshoot. Just roll it out there and let's see how it is. We'll know in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We found out a lot tonight. A lot of things were settled. All right, we got one more segment coming up. We got some more Amos and Askew region rundowns coming, and we're going to name our first Ted's Fours and Beyond Team of the Week next.
At Jack State, friendly is more than just a smile. It's a promise. One to support you in every step of your education and prepare you for everything your future holds. To be there for you on campus, online, and everywhere in between. To make a quality education an accessible one, guaranteeing you won't just join the Gamecock community, but find people here who are invested in your success. Because when you become a Gamecock, friendly lasts a lifetime.
We stand for Mother Nature, home sweet home. The best you, sunsets with friends, hustle, art that lasts. Life's simple pleasures. Life has purpose when we stand for something. ATCU is now Emblem, a credit union that stands for excellence and community. But most of all, Emblem Credit Union stands for our members and what's important to them. We stand for you.
Whether you're replacing one window or giving your whole home a fresh new look, RO Supply has the perfect fit for your project. From affordable, dependable options to showcase windows and doors built to last, we have the products and style for every budget. Unlike the big box stores, our specialists provide free in-home design consultations or visit our showroom, helping you choose the right products with confidence. Affordable luxury starts with windows and doors from RO Supply. Start your project today with RO Supply.
Looking for top-tier tumbling and cheer in East Alabama? Cheaha Cheer and Tumble has programs for every age and skill level. We offer small group tumbling, tot and preschool classes, and even custom training for school cheer teams. Planning a party? Let us host it. And our nationally recognized all-star teams train right here at home. Join the Cheaha family, where confidence takes root and champions are made. Visit CheahaCheerandTumble.com today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
We're back on high school football. Alabama's after the game, wrapping things up on this football Friday night, the first one of the 2026 season. Jon Holder, Chad Barnett, Coach Michael Short. Let's talk about our core sports play of the night. We got a lot to choose from. It's going to be a tough decision. Haven't even made it yet. We got to look at all the big plays. We had big kickoff returns, pick sixes, long touchdown passes. We got a lot to choose from tonight. Tomorrow morning, at some point in time, early tomorrow morning, come to our Facebook page. We'll also have this on TikTok and X and all over the place, and find out what the play of the night is, presented by Core Sports. Now, we got two more regions to talk about as we go to our Amos and Askew, and we'll back off here so you can see this, our Amos and Askew region rundown, and we've got to still look at Class 5A and Class 6A. And, for us here in East Alabama, that's kind of been where some of the big changes have been, because we've been I think this is the first time that Oxford has been 5A since Josh Niblett was the coach back in 2005. And it's amazing, Gadsden City stayed in 6, but that's the top 32 teams in Alabama as far as size goes in those top 32 teams. And so they are one of the top 32 teams. I don't think folks were expecting that they're basically, in essence, what have been the old 7A. So,
yes.
Guys, kind of, I think we got it coming.
There we
go. Need some more tea.
Well, toss me some water.
Need some water. All right. Class 5A Region 6. So Oxford tonight, of course, they're 1-0. We talked about that. Massive game, massive win tonight on the road at Gadsden City. What's the deal with Clay Chalkville this year, Coach? Are they still the studs of the classification?
They're studs until they're removed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're going to be there.
You want to beat the man, you got to beat the man,
beat
right?
the man, yes.
And Clay Chalkville is still that stud on top of the mountain. Southside, back, head coach. Miles is back again. How do you see them looking in this region?
Look, soon as don't be surprised because I saw them not St. Clair County.
Okay.
Their skill players are as good as anybody that we're seeing right here. Skill players. I haven't seen their linemen, but I've seen their skill players in a lot of 7-on-7s, and they're as skilled as anybody else. I know Pell City's lost, but they're they kind of feel vindicated now. They got a chance to go to the playoffs.
Well, that changed because in the Calhoun County Media Days, we were talking to Coach Adams, and he was talking about the Pell City game essentially being a bye week. Like they were trying to figure out how they were going to handle that week because it didn't matter in the playoff standings. Now it does, so that changes everything. Just that one decision this week.
As always in this region, I know it's 5A instead of 6A. This game right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, always. It's going to be the one, yeah. St. Clair, and we've seen St. Clair County be really athletic before.
Yes.
You coached against some of the teams in the 2000s when they had Chad Mickens and all them. It was a fantastic football team back then. Pinson Valley, where are they in relation to what they were a couple of years back?
That's the sleeper.
Chad, they have been through, 5 coaches in 6 years?
Yeah, it's changed.
There's just so much turmoil over there and so much change that it's hard to do anything. So, nonetheless, I really think that the Douthert kid from St. Clair County, as good a wide receiver as there is anywhere. We saw him at the 7-on-7 at McClellan with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I don't think anybody covered that guy. And I've heard that all summer long, that all the 7-on-7s, that nobody's really covered that guy. Let's go now to 6A. Only one team to talk about, and that's 6A Region 4. And this is a mishmash, I guess you would say, of old 6As and teams moving down from 7A. Teams like James Clemens, teams like Huntsville, Bob Jones, moving down from Class 7A. Our only local team there is Gadsden City. And Gadsden City, Coach, I don't know what your thoughts on them were tonight. We talked a lot about Oxford. We haven't talked a lot about the Titans and your impressions of them tonight.
Well, they're very talented. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you look and you just got names. This kid's a 2-star. He's a 3-star. He's a 4-star. They've got a lot of people. They've got a lot of size. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be surprising if at the end of the year we don't see Gadsden City in the playoffs out of this region. That they could get to the playoffs.
And we've seen them do the 5-5 regular season and make a third round run before.
Yes.
So the regular season is just all about placement for them. We've seen them make deep runs regardless of what their regular season
This region
like.
is manageable for them to be in.
Yes.
Gadsden City, since the beginning, has been very good against Buckhorn. They've been good against Hazel Green. They've been good against Sparkman. They'll be good against Grissom. They'll hold their own with Huntsville. Bob Jones will be good. James Clemens will be good. Those will be the two most athletic teams in this region. Will be James Clemens and Bob Jones, besides the Titans. So that's Class 6A Region 4. We'll keep over the Titans throughout the year. All right, we're going to go away from that. We got our Team of the Week coming up in just a moment, but kind of just before we get to the Team of the Week, just kind of a recap of tonight. My theme of tonight, I think, guys, is this. Is not the surprise of the teams that won so much, but the margins of victory.
Yes.
I don't think I was not surprised that Jackson won tonight. I was not surprised that Oxford won tonight. I was surprised that the margins of victory tonight, I think that to me is kind of the theme of week one.
The Anniston game.
Yes,
The loss too. I mean, we weren't really sure what to expect because they did lose a lot last year. There was a lot of kids lost your head coach, new head coach coming in. Of course, he's got some experience, but it was the score that was kind of like, okay, I did not expect that. There was a number. It was about 5 or 6 games tonight where the score just didn't match my brain.
Yeah, I didn't expect Geraldine to win. If you had told me that Anniston won 61-22, I would have believed that.
Yeah,
I would not have believed that Geraldine would have beat Anniston 61-22. Coach, your takeaways from tonight?
Well, I've seen Geraldine on some film. The score, yes, but them winning didn't surprise me. It wouldn't have been a shock. I'll know more next week because most teams make the biggest improvement from game 1 to game 2. Mm-hmm. So if we're sitting here next week and some of the same teams that lost by a lot get beat again in the same manner, you're kind of setting a pattern for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. I will say this about Geraldine. They're not in our viewing area, so we don't talk about Geraldine a lot. Mm-hmm. I will say this, though, about the Geraldine Bulldogs, their head coach, Michael Davis. Mm-hmm. If you're a larger school out there and you're looking for that small school gym that's going to be a great big school head football coach one day, Michael Davis of Geraldine, that's your guy, big schools. If you're out there next year looking, or in a future year looking for a guy down the smaller schools that you think can jump up and be the next Steve Smith kind of guy, telling you, Michael Davis is that guy.
He's kept the kids. He's not losing them like they used to. They used to lose kids to other schools around there. They're not letting that happen anymore.
All right, I think we may be ready. Guys, we ready? We are ready. It's time to announce our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week for Week 1 of the high school football season. They get the Ted's Trophy, and they also get the score shirts from Anniston Orthopedics. And there it is, our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. We'll have the T-shirts and we'll have the trophy coming out to Coach Jeremy Sullivan and the Golden Eagles after their big win tonight, 34-8 over the Piedmont Bulldogs. For Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, and our entire hard-working after-the-game team, we'll see you back here next Friday night on Facebook and YouTube at 10 a.m.